Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel the teach. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's going to clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's going to open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is going to protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is going to make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Tej has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night. And because Tej is a sponsor, they're offering my family 30% off along with a free gift. Just click that link that's in the description and feel the Tej.
Three girls a day on average, at least at a minimum. I mean, if I only had sex with 2 girls in a day, that was like we're having some real off day or something, right?
Yeah.
And some days 4, sometimes 5, 7. The most was 9.
How many women have you slept with in your life total?
Thousands. I had this image in my mind when I was growing up of like how awesome this would be. I don't know, what I kind of landed on was I think it's like better to have a monogamous relationship, as strange as that is coming from me. You got 2 choices. You could just like do whatever you want and, be free and like allow the women to be free and just use condoms with all the girls and not care about if they hook up with other guys and it's just like purely sexual and whatever. Or I think you can find a girl that you enjoy spending time with and that you actually trust each other. But I think it's unlikely to find a woman that is going to be okay with you sleeping with other women that actually cares about you for the right reasons. Even if the girl is okay with it, I think that you like cause internal damage to her. I do think that like one cool girl that does stuff with you that you actually have a mental connection with, I think the sex is better. I think you're more relaxed. I think you have less things to deal with, less distractions. Your energy's not being pulled in a bunch of different directions. So I think there is hope to like the longer term monogamy and like staying attracted to the woman.
All right, let's go ahead and open up with this little icebreaker, man. You said some interesting things there, man. Obviously, this guy, you guys familiar with this guy? Yeah.
Dan Bilzerian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Playboy on steroids.
Yeah, so when I ran across this, I was quite surprised. Well, not quite surprised. I mean, people go through their phases. I guess men go through their whole phases too, right? No? That's not what it's called? Just exercising their options?
Yeah, I don't think it's
better.
It's
Okay,
definitely different from.
I'm just putting things out there, man. I'm
I ain't gonna lie. Thousands, that's a bona fide whole phase, bro. Thousands?
That's on steroids.
God,
Thousands is a
damn.
little crazy.
Thousands is a lot.
That's a little crazy.
That's like overkill.
I think it's watering it down to call it a whole phase, because you got to think about it. How many of those women know he's known for sleeping with so many women and still go over there to sleep with them? I would say it's on the women to be more on the whole phase than the guy. Because I mean, if you got it. I mean, I think it should be a different terminology for men who can just do that. We talking about thousands. I mean, the regular guy out here working at Walmart going to go smash one girl in the car and go smash another girl in his mother's basement and be on his whole face. But you talking about the dude that's running rampant like this, There's got to be something about this dude significant enough to be able to pull those kind of numbers off.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Money. He got a lot of money.
No, hold on.
Man, for him to even know 1,000 women is crazy. Like, you know 1,000, you done communicated directly with 1,000 women. That's, let alone fucking them. That's a lot.
Here's the thing: he travels around the world. Got a extravagant lifestyle. He's in 7. If there's 7 continents, he's in 6 of them. And whatever he does, he has a plethora of women with him, so it's believable. Right. And he has the lifestyle to maintain that.
But just think of your graduating class in high school, right? Like, was that thousands of people?
No, my
like think of your whole high school. Think of your whole high school. Matter of fact, right? Think of your whole high school. Like, imagine like you smashed that many women. That's crazy. That's a little crazy, no?
I didn't even have 1,000.
Like your
that's
whole
a lot
high
of
school.
Women, bro.
That's like a high school in the inner city. You feel me?
That's a lot of women.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's like a high school with a strong football team. You know what I mean? Like a strong football team and a football coach. Like, imagine like one of them schools, like you in Texas, one of them big ass schools with like a big football team.
Just say college.
And you ran through everybody in the school.
Just say college. Yeah.
But colleges usually have that.
Including the professors.
But Clout, I think you watering it down again, because school, I mean, you got to account for all the busted chicks. I mean, from the images, bro, look like the women he was smashing is like top of the line women on 1,000. Like, that's a whole nother achievement. Like, anybody can smash 1,000 ugly joints, but we talking about 1,000 baddies. That's different.
Nah, he ain't all of them.
Even 1,000 fuglies is work, man.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at
it's hard to find. Yeah, I'm with you, Clout, bro. It's hard to smash 1,000 ugly women, let alone 1,000 fine ones.
No, it's not. Listen. You guys are speaking in the confines of the United States. I don't know how many of you guys have traveled or go out or leave. There is so. That's why a lot of people. It should almost be a pilgrimage for everybody to just go out and just go see what the fuck is out there. Czechoslovakia, Greece, Egypt, Australia. There is 8 billion people. There's so many people on the planet, women, available women, pretty, beautiful women worldwide. It will blow your mind. Canada, fucking South America. Here in LA, we think about, we know we got downtown, or I'm sorry, not in LA. In America, we got downtown in your city. You know what I'm saying? You got the fish spot that everybody goes to. You got the roller rink around the corner in mid city. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of knows everybody. Bruh, when you get outside of this, when you jump on a plane, grab your passport, jump on a plane and go overseas, you'll be like, what the entire fuck is going on out here? Where have I been all my life? It's not hard to believe that Dan Bilzerian, a guy that made his money in poker, $100 million, I think his biggest hand was, like about 20 years ago. He's the one that Dan is the one that threw that one girl off his roof, and she almost made it to the pool, and her leg got caught and she broke her leg. That was that porn star. I can't think of her name. This dude has been smashing these bitches for years. So 1,000 for him over the last, let's say, 25 years.
It's light.
No, he said thousands. He was hitting 3 a day.
Sweeney.
Yeah, for people like him. And think about all the celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Think about, what's my man's name? Wilt Chamberlain did. They say he claimed he did 10,000 before he died.
I don't believe the numbers. That I don't believe. Because if you extrapolate those numbers, that's crazy.
I believe.
Nah, man, you gotta believe.
You can't even count 10,000. Like, how do you even count 10,000? Like, you said this. I'm like,
If it's 3 a day, if it's 3 a day for a whole year, that's 1,995.
I couldn't fuck. I personally fuck 3 a day.
It could be more than 3 too, because you gotta think if you having
I ain't got it in me. I'm
three a day though. Let's be like, come on, 3 a day. You believe he's doing 3 a day? 7 days a week?
He said 2.
He said he got up to 9.
He said 2 is an off
9 was his max.
Because now remember, when you're doing that,
especially if you hit him at the same time.
So there's intercourse. There's intercourse where you fucking and you put it. And then there's a lot. Then there's just having a bunch of women in the bed. some people classify sex differently. So if somebody say, yeah, man, I'm having sex with like 3-4 girls a day, it doesn't mean that he's actually piping down 4. It could be a couple chicks in the bed playing with each other, kissing on this one, moving around and doing. He's probably maybe only smashing one.
Oh, okay.
Come with one.
I don't think so. He got to jump.
I
in.
thought he meant. I thought he meant like
Shannon
3
White-
women to completion. Like 3.
Imagine a woman that he didn't.
Do that.
Imagine a woman he didn't get off on. You know, some of them, you know, you get exhausted and you should shooting air sometimes because you ain't got nothing built up no more. You know what I'm saying? You still count on that.
Yeah, he said he got up to 9. That was his max, 9, which is incredible. 9, I never got to 9. I could tell you that. 9 in a day, like that's outrageous.
But I do want to
kind
kind
of get 9 text messages from different girls in a day.
Yo, that's a fact.
All right, hold on.
You say you can't or we can't?
All right, now that we got that out the way, I did want to highlight something, and Luis, I maybe can touch on it, but he was talking about, polyamory, the act of having a relationship with multiple people at the same time. May be fun for time, but it's exhausting. Having your attention pulled in so many different directions is unnatural. And then he also talked about this right here, where it says eventually it gets tiresome and we start longing for a relationship with one person where there's a deep, loving, committed connection that goes both ways. So here you had this guy that has sex with multiple women. He says it just gets exhausting, and ultimately the value that he's seeing was just being with one person, and you can't really connect the same having sex with all these women, and it's probably better just being with one woman. So let's go ahead and open it. Go ahead, Luis. Let me start off with you.
I mean, I kind of wrote down a couple things that he said. Just to kind of start off, it seems to me he's in this new phase of his life where sex is meaningless. I mean, it has come so easy and so fast, and you know what I'm saying? It's like almost like working out now. It's just like it's just a routine. It's built into his lifestyle and built into his brand and who he is. That it doesn't really fulfill the void that he has. And that's why he talked about monogamy and having a relationship, a meaningful relationship where there's a mental connection. And he talked about that. But at the same time, he also talked about this woman being in a monogamous relationship with her, but it's open on his end, because he did predicate the saying that there's no chick that will be okay with me being with her and me still dealing with other women. You know what I'm saying? Even if the mental connection is still there. He was still talking about polyamory, but not a closed monogamous relationship on both ends. And I think he's in a sort of a space where he's kind of grappling with, okay, like I need a woman who will support my lifestyle and, you know what I'm saying, will also go on the journey with me and enjoy this as well, but still have the mental connection. He still needs and yearns for that mental connection that kind of stimulates conversation in that one-on-one atmosphere. I think he's probably burnt out. I think that he's probably at a phase that he's talking to a lot of women that actually don't do it for him. They do it for him, sexually in attractiveness, but I think the mental hasn't really quite caught up with that. And he's speaking from both ends of his mouth at the same perspective, but I don't know whether he's coming or going, because I mean, although women will be okay with it because they want to attach themselves for the lifestyle and attach with him, but once they are attached to him, they're not okay no longer for him to kind of lead the lifestyle that he is and still be in a committed relationship with him. So, I mean, he has some soul searching to do on that part.
Basically what it is he wants a relationship, and the natural progression of a relationship is monogamy for most women. And that's what he's finding out. It's as simple as that. He wants to settle down, and he's realizing that settling down means that monogamy comes with it. That's why he's mentioning the whole, oh, well, it doesn't work. Yeah, of course. No, most women aren't going to ride with a dude that slept with, that's going to continue to sleep with countless women each and every night. So that's basically what he's speaking to.
Okay.
I mean,
All right,
I
go
was paying attention to what he said too. He spoke about internal damage. You know, whenever he's having sex with multiple women that actually care or plan to be with a woman. I think he was saying on the lines of, if I did have a woman, I don't think she would be okay with me sleeping with multiple women because it would cause internal damage. And when you make statements like that, I think he's starting to consider the feelings of other women that he's messing with on a level that they've been programmed. You know, I think everybody been programmed for the most part that monogamy is the way to go. So, and that's why I think you can attach internal damage to it. To get internal damage, you have to be set in the belief that the right way to do things is to only have sex with one person. And if you're not doing that, then yeah, it's going to mess with you mentally, emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So, and some people spiritually. You know, so I believe he just had a taste of what it means to live, what it feels to live like as a king in the old times. You know, when men actually conquered the world and had multiple wives, multiple women, concubines, and all those things. And now that he's in the world where, okay, look, I make all of this money, I got a taste of it. It just doesn't sit right with the modern times, you know what I'm saying, society and how the minds of people have been programmed. So it's a conflict of interests, so to speak. But I mean, me personally, man, looking from the outside, and I don't think he really gives a shit. Because if he really cared, he would have said, I don't feel like it's right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a bad thing to do. Instead of saying the women may feel like it's wrong or they're getting internal damage. If he would have said something like, hey, look, I'm starting to experience internal damage, just starting to fuck with me mentally. And that's when I went out. I would have been like, okay, look, this dude actually cares about how he's moving in his sexual behavior. But I would say if the female was actually okay with it, because he stated, I don't think women would be okay if I got in a relationship. I don't think they would be okay. If women were okay with this, he would continue to do it. He would continue to behave the same way he's behaving. I mean, he's making a lot of money. Who gives a shit? You owe it to yourself, man. You at the top. So do you.
All right. Go ahead, Clout.
I agree with what Bruiser was just saying, man. Like I feel like it's the right message, right? It's a beautiful message, but it's the wrong person. Right, great message from the wrong person. Because it's like, okay, you're right, absolutely. Your actions can cause damage to these women. Absolutely, it's gonna be difficult to find a woman that's open to that type of lifestyle, that it won't hurt her. But like Bruiser was just saying, like, bro, like if she was open to it, he would be all for it. You could tell that in his tone. Another thing that was a little bit interesting to me, it's like he's talking about causing all this damage and saying all of this, and it's just like, bro, like that's kind of easy for you to say, considering that you've already slept with thousands of women, right? So it's like, yeah, the guy who's already knocked down thousands of women and probably every type of woman he's ever imagined sleeping with, now he's saying, oh yeah, now I want to settle down. It's like, okay, that's great. Like that's great that you're saying that, but it's like, I mean, that's like me saying I lived in every country and now I want to settle down in one. Like, okay, good for you. Like that's cool, but that's not really it's not, he's not the person to give that message across, because everybody's just gonna always remember that, yeah, but you've lived everywhere else. Like, yeah, you're saying you're happy to settle here, but you've seen the world. And the people that haven't seen the world are going to have conflict with that. Like, how does he give that message to people who haven't figuratively seen the world in the same way he has, to say, oh well, you should settle down too? They're going to be like, yeah, bro, like you've lived your life, you've run the gamut. You can't really tell other people that they can't live the same life. So I agree with his message 100%, that absolutely, usually the progression of most relationships is monogamy. And I think that especially if you don't want to cause damage to a woman that you're dealing with, honesty, you should always be upfront. You should always keep things above board. That way you're not playing with anybody's feelings and you're not doing that damage. But it's a little bit hard for me to receive the message from him specifically because it's like, bro, you done did it all. If you maybe if you hadn't done it all and you said this, it would be like, wow, this guy who has the opportunity to have it all has denied it all to say that he wants to be in this monogamous relationship. But he's not even in the monogamous relationship he's talking about still. You know, the video reel, if you notice in the reel, he had the same haircut. Like the reel where he's running around with all these women, it's the same mohawk. So it's not like that's old footage of him. It's current footage of him. He's still living the same lifestyle he was living before. So like, what are we even talking about? But yeah, again, great message, wrong guy.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Cloud is a private investigator, man. Go ahead, Trev. We'll go to Trev and then we're going to Mark.
So I'll say it's definitely different strokes for different folks. Pause. Like women, no matter what, if they like you enough, they really admire you, they'll deal with that type of situation. We got our Futures, we got our Nick Cannons, we have Hugh Hefner, who's able to have multiple women all the time, and none of those women had a problem with it, right? They just wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to be a part of that lifestyle. If you were hyper successful, right, for women are going to want you, man. If you have a whole lot of power, women are going to want you, and they're not going to really care about that. And I've seen polygamy work in situations where even it might seem like a kind of regular guy, right, where they're more communal than anything. The whole household will function as one unit. The wives will help each other. One person will be doing cooking, one person will be taking care of the kids, and it can work. And if they admire that man enough, then he'll be able to do that. Now, I don't want anyone to get it confused for just a second and thinking that most men have a shot at this, because we don't, right? I think that the success that he had on that level is probably less than 1 in a million men to get it on that. And just polygamy on a whole, I'd say most of us can't do it, right? Most of us would love the idea of it, but Bruiser mentioned an excellent word, programming. We were programmed not to think that this is right. Right? Most of us are not going to tell our daughters, hey, you know what? You could go ahead and share this man as long as you are, taken care of, right? That's not what we want. That's not what we tell our daughters to do. So in most cases, you're not going to see females who are prepared to do that. They want their own. They say, no, this he's mine. That's how they feel about it. So we just have to understand that you have to be open to that type of lifestyle, and you also have to have women who are open to that lifestyle. The worst thing that you can possibly do in a situation like that is to try to play with people's emotions. Somebody already mentioned it. Don't do that. Don't play with anybody's emotions. You have to be forthcoming. You have to be a man about it, and you let them know that this is exactly what it is. And if they want to do it, then that's cool. For him personally, I think he was just effed out, man. Like, he really had a lot of it, and now he's looking at different situations. And I don't think if he went so extreme, like if he was just normally dealing with polygamous situations and he didn't go to the absolute extreme, like this is extreme. This is nowhere near normal. This is extreme. So to get to that level, of course you could tire out, right? That like women can't amaze you. What kind of tricks could they really do when you've seen it thousands of times? Like it's nothing amazing about it anymore. And as a man, you on your purpose. If you want to start dealing with women emotionally, you have to understand how much work that is, right? For you to be able to take care of them the way you want them to take care of you, it's a lot more responsibility on you. So when you have to take care of the way this woman is thinking, you have to make sure she's good. You have to provide for all of them people. Most people aren't in a position to even try to do that. And it's just too much. And the way women are wired today, it's going to be even more difficult, right? Dealing with these personalities, especially of modern day women. You try to get multiple modern day women, it's going to be difficult. I'll say Shannon made an excellent point as far as when you jump on a plane and get your passport. I feel like it's a lot more likely for you to be able to get that off on the East because women aren't wired the same way. And I'm not saying that it's better or worse. It's just different, right? Women don't have the same expectations from a man. Of course, in a lot of cases, you're expected to provide, but there's not, you don't have to be super tall or anything. This dude is only 5'9", and it wasn't a big deal. He probably got most of his situations overseas because it'll jump off real quick. You go to certain places, you go to Germany, it's jumping, right? You go into many places in South America, it's jumping. You could go to Africa, it's jumping. Like they on you. You got a different swag, you got a little money to you, you got a different tongue. Pause again. It's just different. They just want to be attached to that lifestyle. You smell different, you look different. They want to be a part of that. And you're not going to have the same type of issues because they are thinking differently. They're looking at you differently, and expectations are different. I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, I agree with Trev.
I got a serious question. What evidence do we have that these men are able to successfully maintain polygamous relationships?
Man, stop paying.
Who?
Dan Bilzerian. You know what? We're not in the room. We ain't watching him stroke him down. But he's in those rooms, and a lot of people is vouching for him because they've been part of that. They've been the plus ones. They've been on the yachts with him. They've been in the extravagant palatial estates with him. I followed him from when he was playing poker, and he was having women around him that. You can't tell me he got like 20 women on the boat naked, playing with titties, pardon me. What? Yeah, doing all that good stuff, and he's not having his pick of the litter when he want to.
No, I'm not arguing that. That's obvious. What I mean is that because his whole art, the guy in the video was talking about settling down with the woman, i.e. maybe marriage, and her being okay with him participating, continuing this lifestyle. What evidence do we have that that's actually successful for men in this country?
Trev just told you, Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner was divorced 3 times.
He did what?
He was divorced 3 times.
It was successful.
That's not successful if they divorced you.
Okay, you're talking about marriage. You're talking about lifestyle. That's different. Marriage and lifestyle is 2 different things.
So I'm asking, what person was able to be with someone that stood the test of time, and a woman was completely okay with him dibbling? Because anybody will say,
Sweeney, I think
you're asking about America, but polygamy is illegal in America.
Sweeney, I think.
No, I think. All right, so y'all miss. Hold on, wait. Y'all misunderstand what I'm saying. A man that's married maintains his marriage with this woman, because obviously we do know that polygamy is illegal, and he's still able to go out and sleep with hundreds of women, and he keeps his wife.
Listen, Sweeney, I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is actually having evidence of those type of relationships being successful would actually go against the agreement between a man and a woman. And a lot of women and men who agree on these situations are like, hey, look, you're a multimillionaire, whatever the hell you are. I don't want to know about it. Don't let it get out. That's how the conversation goes. So you asking for evidence that it's actually successful for relationships to thrive like that. I'm saying that it wouldn't even make it, if you're having if your agreement on moving like this is that, hey, look, I'm gonna keep it discreet, and it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna expose this to the public or society, especially when you have, I mean, a lot of these guys are CEOs and they run companies and stuff. They have a brand to protect. So it works in hand with the man and the woman. So a lot of these men that are moving like this, they don't want nobody to know. So asking for evidence is not really, I don't think it's a good way to start a conversation on trying to substantiate that type of relationship.
Well, I think we can only go off of what we see, because we all, at this point, we're all just assuming then. We're assuming that it works, but every single person that we've ever seen practice this form of lifestyle divorce their women.
That's not
every last one of them.
It's all about what group you is all about what group you connect with.
That might be people who are public about it.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of people in Beverly Hills, Sweeney, right now, whose wives simply turn their head and go play gin rummy with their friends.
Shannon, can I inject something real quick? NDA.
They don't care.
Pimps.
They do not.
Pimps got hoes. Pimps
He just killed you with that. The NDA.
We guessing. That's all we're doing right now. We're guessing.
Wait, are you serious?
No, we're
I
not.
think
I'm
we're
not
all
guessing.
Hugh
guessing.
Hefner is a
I'm not
perfect
guessing.
example.
I actually
Hugh
know.
I'm not
I know a
guessing.
lot of
I
guys
can
who
tell
run
you people,
companies
but
that
I can't
have.
tell you people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Just
Hugh
because you
Hefner.
don't know, I'm telling you, this is not a guess. Your boy Shannon, I know people. I know people that you know that I can't tell you of because these are my friends, but you see them on TV. They have no problem. I'll give you an example. Layla Rashawn and
Sunshine.
yeah, Sunshine and because that one is public. Antoine Fuqua. You want like Sweeney? There's people there. You know Antoine Fuqua, director of Training Day, that got Denzel Washington his Oscar, and then he's married to Layla Rashawn successfully about 20-30 years, something like that. And then Antoine Fuqua was in France frolicking around with Eddie Murphy's ex. What's her name? The fine one?
Nicole Murphy.
Nicole Murphy. When asked about when Layla Rashawn was asked about it, she was like, don't worry about our business. And she shut that down. That didn't go no further. The news reports was like, well, fuck, I guess ain't nothing to talk about here. Because Layla was like, don't worry about our marriage. Don't worry about that. I'll talk to him when he get home. That right there is very prevalent. But because you don't know about it, and because these people don't speak about that kind of stuff, you think it doesn't exist, but it absolutely exists. And the only reason we don't talk about it is because it's shunned upon here in the West, in America. You don't talk about that. But let me take you to Nigeria. Let's go to Ghana. I could take you to a whole nother continent where shit, motherfuckers is in line to be wife number 2 and 3.
Democratic of Congo, Burkina Faso, etc. That's common practice in those places in Western and Central Africa.
So where it's
swinging
publicly adopted, it's successful. Where it's publicly shunned, it's simply done behind closed doors.
So in other words, in this country, it's not really a thing.
Sweeney, you speak with
In this country,
naivete.
it's not a thing publicly.
It's classified.
I think you need to hang out with somebody that really go out there and act and is active. Then when you come home, you're gonna cook your ribs different. You're gonna use different herbs and spices. Because I don't think you've been in those rooms where you seen the amazing and your jaw just hit the floor.
First of all, it's actually hard to get into those groups. I mean, I'm not an average earner. I think I believe I'm a high earner according to the statistics, but I haven't reached a level to where I'm able to get in those groups yet. I'm on my way though, but I'm gonna tell you, I know some people and we have conversations. And once you get into those groups, bro, you won't even have conversations like this no more. Like your thought process will be totally different when you start getting connected.
I'll just tell you, some of your favorite politicians is into that. I'm not going to get specific, but I'm just telling you, like, a lot of people who you would never think is with that. Like, they won't tell you because if they feel like you'll judge them or you're just not supposed to be in the know. But there's a lot of people who really with that. Like, a lot of people. There's some strange things out there that would seem strange to you. That's a lot more common than we think. They just don't talk about it because it's considered to be taboo over here. And that's the main problem. The main reason why most of us don't tell the truth or won't get the truth is for fear of judgment. Once people throw that judgment out the window, you start to realize that there's a lot of things going on right in front of your face that you just don't know.
Just don't know. And Sweeney, here's one: Jeffrey Epstein. You think by any stretch that you know why that's so crazy to people? Because people are regular in that life. That Jeffrey Epstein island life is mind blowing, and people can't wrap their head around it. But people in that society, people that dabble, the wives are just like, go ahead. Everybody was wondering, like, when Bill Clinton got his dick sucked in the White House in the 90s by whatever her name was,
Monica Lewinsky.
Monica Lewinsky. It was like all the women was looking at Hillary like, clutch your pearls, and Hillary was like, that's just a win. That's just an average Wednesday. Don't worry about that. We got shit. We got a country to save. We got politics to do with.
I think the same sort of thing happened with Belinda Gates too. Whenever she actually talked about it.
She
Oh yeah.
with the secretary. He said, listen, I got this chick that I dated. Bill Gates got this woman that he dated, and he told Melinda before he married Melinda, hey, my ex-girlfriend, I'm fucking with her forever. Now, you still want to fuck with me? We get married. No, this is what he told her in the 80s. You will still want to fuck with me, get married, but I'm going on vacation with her once a year, every year, period. And Melinda was like, she looked at that Microsoft money and was like, no problem, baby. I'm good. If I'm good, you good. And Bill Gates continued to date his girlfriend through his marriage for decades, all the way up until his divorce. But it wasn't because of her that he got the divorce.
And let me set the record straight. I'm not talking about getting into the rooms where guys are just smashing women. I'm not talking about that.
Oh, really?
I'm talking about
some Diddy parties.
I'm talking about a network. I'm not talking about a room where you go and do your thing. I'm talking about a group of men who are on a certain level of earning. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm working my way there.
So, Sweeney, why are you asked that question? Are you curious about doing these things or what?
No,
Sweeney ready to swing.
No, I'm basically saying that we talk about these things in a sense of as if it's realistic for the vast majority of people. I get it. Y'all can name a few people. Y'all can name a few people, but for the vast majority, even in that elite class, that's not a thing. Like what this dude is talking about as far as finding a woman a wife and then she be okay with him sleeping around and continuing that lifestyle. That's why he said it's hard to find that because most women ain't rocking with it. And we see it every single day. Women are divorcing these high value men left and right. We see it left and right. They dropping them like flies. Some niggas, they be on the road for, like, even when you look at athletes, they be on the road for 10, 15 years, 10, 15 year careers, doing their thing until they done on the road. The next thing you know, divorce right behind it.
Yeah, but Sweeney, I don't think most people
they don't divorce them when they on the road, though. They divorce them when they come back home.
Situation. I just think, just a select few individuals who want to live that type of lifestyle. I don't think it's like a common thing for everybody wants to do that.
And even if that's the case, then what the hell are we even talking about it for? That shit don't even matter.
Well, no.
Wait, you brought it up.
We talk about it. So that's a great segue. That's a great segue into my part. Let me. So JR, if you will.
Yeah, go ahead. And we got to make sure we get after him. We got to make sure we get Marcus and Hink in there as well.
All right, cool. So Sweeney, you're saying, well, look, man, why are we talking about this out of reach, this out of touch, this shit that that the average guy is not going to be able to deal with? Most people don't even want. Most guys don't even want. Listen, my argument to this, to what Dan Bilzerian is saying, this is the reason why I want men to become better. That's because when you become better, I was having a conversation with my ex-wife today. We were talking about going to the gym, and she wants to burn some weight. She was trying to figure out. We was comparing notes about what gyms are out here in LA that she can go to, because I'm in LA and she's in the Valley. And she was like, she remembers the time she gained about 15 pounds, and she wants to burn that 15 pounds. And she says, when I get ready to go to an event, because we go to a lot of black tie events out here, I don't want to think about throwing on the dress and putting on a girdle or I just want to be able to just slap on a strip of cloth and go. Because when you're in shape, you can wear anything. You look good in anything when you're in shape. The thing about it is, when you fellas, to all the men out there, when you guys are in shape, when you are looking good and you got your money right, you move different. And so what Dan is saying is really attainable by a lot of men. What Sweeney is saying is currently that's bullshit. What I'm saying is, but we can get there, or we can at least try to get there. I'm sick of men just giving up and just saying, you know what, man, it is what it is. Let me just eat this burger and eat this steak and get fat and sloppy and don't work out and I'm okay with my job. I'm just making mediocre money. This is what I was talking about before when I said I'm sick of us talking about mediocrity or just being average. If you guys work on yourselves and become better men, your options open up. Then if you get that mouthpiece like Trev and Marcus has, and just tell women what it is. Look, it is what it is. If you get the Bill Gates mindset, look, hey, this is my ex. I'm going to continue to date her. But if you want to marry me, cool. If not, that's cool too. Which one do you want? You'll be surprised at how many women will conform to your program, especially if you're keeping it real and upfront in the beginning. What happens is, Sweeney, a lot of these divorces and the people that break up is because of the sneaky, conniving, backhanded shit that comes with cheating. But when you are upfront, you say what you're doing with conviction. You have a lot of confidence in it and say it is what it is, and allow that person to make a decision, and you be okay with her leaving if that's what she wants to do. You have a lot of power, and you be able to move a lot differently. And you'll be fellas, be honest with you, if you get your shit together, you'll be surprised at the kind and caliber of women that you'll have available to you as opposed to what you have currently.
Please clip this. Please clip that, JR. That shit was $1 million worth of speech.
Mic drop.
Didn't Bill Gates' wife still divorce him and walk away with $75 billion?
Yeah, but she was there from the beginning.
Do that anyway.
You don't know. You don't understand. Right. She also played a vital role in it was a business decision. It was a business, arrangement between them. Yeah, they got along.
Different that we.
The funny thing is she didn't walk away from him from infidelity.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
like it's time to go.
What I'm saying is that
we're talking about same as Bezos. Just time to go. I mean, they said it was cheating with Bezos, but it was just like, hey, appreciate you. We got this $100 billion. Bezos gave her $35 billion. That's the largest divorce settlement in the history of mankind. $35 billion to Mackenzie Bezos, and they just knew, and they still friends. Just like when you got that kind of money, you ain't fighting in court. It's just like, yeah, take your half. You was here. You did give me some. You fucked me good while I was making these billions. Here, you deserve that.
There's no such thing as permanent enemies when businesses evolve. And then that a large amount of money, you best believe everybody walks away amicably.
So let me go ahead and answer the question real fast. Yeah. Hey, shout out to that man for doing that and accomplishing whatever goal he has to end up doing that. But I couldn't do some shit like that. They get on my goddamn nerves too much to be dealing with 3 or 4 of them in one goddamn night.
Come on.
Yeah, I ain't got that patience. So, 20 minutes, get the hell on. If I get up to that thousand mark, I get them. I'm gonna have to slow ride it because ain't no way I'm gonna sit there and try to put up with 3 or 4 of them in one night, all at one time. They get on my goddamn nerves. They talk too goddamn much, and they not that important and they not that smart. So hell yeah, Marcus, I'm gonna let you have it, brother.
I think they're real important. Some people are really smart, but
I'm talking about them because they got to be hoes for allowing me to do some shit like that. So no, those hoes ain't smart.
Yeah,
so I think you could build. So it's different type of connections being created in this world. I think the traditional way monogamy was set up, not traditional, but the current. So fairly new version of how society set up relationships. It's changing. A lot of these kids, if you look down the pipeline, they see sexuality on a fluidity scale. They don't even view it the same way we do. The way they engage in relationships now, they're coming up with new terms that I never heard before. You got people that I seen a post on Instagram that was talking about what is your preferred method of poly. And most women said 1 man, 1 woman, or 1 man and 2 women. But they had a gang of other options. It's about, I at least know like 400 poly groups where you have women that are seeking men within those relationships. You got men that are seeking out an additional one. There's people posting ads to try and find people. Hell, if you look on Kendra G, I seen at least 4 guys go on there and say, hey, I'm looking. I seen a guy and his girl go on and they were looking for an additional wife. I seen a girl go on looking to join a couple. I seen a dude who didn't have anybody. He just got divorced. He was looking for 2 or 3 women. Like it's a different day and age. A lot of men, like, my argument has always been, I don't think biologically it's what men desire, but we agree to monogamy in order to attain a relationship and maintain it under the standards of what we thought was socially acceptable. But if you like Trev, Shannon and Darwin said, if you honest about it, you get somebody the option to choose if this is the life they want to be in, you'll be surprised, bro. And you would be completely surprised. You'll be completely surprised. And there's people who are making it work. You can go online and find some of those couples. It just requires some searching if you're interested in that. But yeah, I know for a fact that it's out here, it works. And as far as him saying he slept with all those women, yeah, I think that's 100% completely believable. I think when you in certain circles and you have a lifestyle where you partying and clubbing, you're gonna run into hundreds of women weekly. You know what I'm saying? And then you choosing from them. And out there hundreds you run it, like, I don't know if y'all ever been to a club or bottle service. I'm sure at least one time. You know how people gravitate around the section, and then the girl's trying to get into there, and then they thirsty trying to get from there, and then y'all leave from the bottle service to the crib or the hotel or wherever you at. It's not hard to imagine if you're doing that on a daily, that he could hit 20 women in a week. Times 54, times 10 years. I mean, that's not a, you know what I'm saying? I had a friend who was living like this, who also believed that when he settled down, he was going to be in a monogamous relationship. The men I hear usually say that never was in monogamous relationships. They just was like, when I finished living this life, I'm gonna just be with one woman. And what they tend to find out is that's not really the lifestyle they want. And then they end up, you know what I'm saying, changing. And a lot of times they don't have the understanding and honesty to be able to present what they actually want from the beginning. And I think people are learning how to do that with self-acceptance and understanding how to just articulate what they actually want and give somebody option. A lot of men be afraid that if I tell her what I actually want, she's gonna leave. And that fear is what keep men in a monogamous state, and then lying about it and hurting and ruining these women and making them just be turned off completely to a whole lot of things, including men, because of the lying. Whatever you do, you just gotta move with honesty and integrity. And give somebody a choice is always gonna be the best option.
Marcus, you got to tell the other side too.
What's that?
There's a lot of women who claim they don't want a polyamorous relationship, but they're in one regardless whether they know it or not. You know what I'm saying? They know what is happening behind the scenes and they've signed up for it. They just don't want to call it that, as opposed to being in a traditional, more structured, understood relationship, you know, umbrella with that man. They'd rather be in a faux kind of, you know, semi polyamorous relationship, as long as they don't hear or know about it. And that's really the other side of the foot. A lot of people be in that, and they realize that they're in it because they want to be delusional about it. That's really what it is. People understand what it is, but they're just willfully delusional about the relationship dynamic that they're currently in.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad.
You sound like you need to get you a pineapple and put it outside your door. Turn it upside down, and you're gonna get all the action you want, brother.
Nah, Marcus, you hit it right on the money, man. Because we talking about guys who level those status up to where they can be honest on a level about how they truly feel and not really give a damn. You know, they don't give a shit,
and they still don't get married.
But see, you keep making marriage
and they still don't get married. So basically, you're talking about a bunch of single niggas doing single nigga shit.
Well, if you do it through like Islam, you can have a nikah ceremony, which wouldn't be because it's technically not legal to marry multiple women at one time. So they have spiritual weddings that.
I'm not even talking about an actual polyamorous marriage. I'm talking about a dude who tells you like it is, gets what he wants in the world, and he goes up to a woman and say, "Hey, look, you can marry me, but I'm gonna still be doing all of this over here."
I think his status allow him to be able to be straightforward.
I think there's a lot of dudes out there that can be straightforward and honest, but they won't get married. Why?
I would argue that most of the men on this panel who got into or encountered a woman or approached a woman and was about to get in a serious relationship, and they probably feel like they wanted to do their thing and they never could, they wouldn't even dare say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna still do my thing," but probably was still doing their thing. But I'm saying once you level yourself, like Marcus said, once you level yourself up to a certain status, you really give a fuck.
Right.
He probably never even talked about how many girls like turned him down. It's like, oh no, I'm not that type of lady. Or he haven't even broached that conversation because it was so overwhelming on the other end. So I'm saying, like,
what I'm saying is that
if
we
every
know.
Man, I guarantee. Listen, Sweeney, let me just say this one thing, and you can go ahead. If every man getting out here and start dating, I'm not speaking from a married perspective. I'm just speaking from being a man out here in society. If every man was honest about how he really felt, I guarantee you, every girl that you approach, every girl that these men approach, they're probably gonna tell them, "Hey, look, I'm gonna be smashing other joints." Until they really, really feel like they want to like settle down and be committed.
Wait, so you telling me the only way that the niggas who got their pick of the litter, got their shit together, can be upfront and honest and get what they want out the deal?
I was talking about the regular dude.
Wait. Is if every other man comes out and says, you know what, I want to smash other women too. Or it simply doesn't work, which is the reason why we don't see it. You don't see
We're not talking about whether it works or not. We already agreed that it don't work with certain women because of the programming.
We know it doesn't work with most women.
Where you
most of them it don't work.
No, that's not true.
Where you getting? You're a stat man. Where you getting these stats that you're using?
You can look around and see dudes who are at the top of their game. They can get any woman they want. They got all the money, all the bread, and they refuse to get married. Why? That's my question. We see these
conflating marriage with them being able to
amass. No. I'm not. I'm not. Hold on, wait, Kenny. You confusing what I'm saying. Because single niggas can do single nigga shit, and it doesn't really fucking matter. You can tell a chick the truth if you're not trying to wife her. Who gives a fuck what she think at that point? I'm talking about when you make a full blown, because the commitment part is the part that actually matters. If we're talking about what these men can and can't get, these niggas at the top of their game, they can pull any woman they want. It doesn't matter. Chicks are throwing themselves at them every day of the week.
Okay,
why? And these guys are single. Why? Because they know without a shadow of a doubt that with most women, you cannot pull that shit with them.
That's not why they're single. No, sweetie, that's not why they're single. That's not why they're single. I'm gonna tell you why they're single. No. That's not why they're single, bro. They're single.
Why are they single?
Because of the fact that, all right, if they're polyamorous, just think about this realistically. If you're monogamous, you want to get married, right? Well, if you're polyamorous, you probably want to do the same thing, right? But guess what? Bigamy is illegal. They can't marry multiple women. They can only marry one of them. And so what happens is if they are naturally polyamorous, they're less likely to get married because they can't marry all of the women that they're engaging with. They can only marry one, which by the nature of polyamory then makes it messed up because now the other people involved can't attain that title. So the thing is, you're conflating the two because people who are polyamorous often don't even go towards marriage because polygamy is not legal. So you're saying why don't they get married? It's because they're polyamorous and they can't get married.
You made the standard of them being married, but you've never been in a position where you control the room by the way you talk.
No,
a man.
Let me ask
You're
you
talking about the top
question.
You're talking about the top percentile, the elite.
Let me ask you
allow me to
a straightforward question, Sweeney.
They don't have the women dictating what's gonna go down with them.
You want to know why? Because the moment they marry that woman, she can control the room because she can say, "Oh, I don't want."
Let me reiterate what I said. The elite men in this country, the top of the top, do not have a woman controlling. On most, do not have a woman controlling how the room go or how things go within a relationship. You've never seen people knuckle. I've seen people do that.
Let me just take it back from the money, the elite, whatever. Let's just talk about regular people. I'm gonna ask you a simple question, Sweeney.
Can't do that.
Go ahead.
On a scale from 1 to 10. Why? Okay, what's the reason? What would be the reason why a man wouldn't be honest? Well, okay, the reason why a man wouldn't be honest about how he wanted to move with other women, is it because he don't want to ruin his chances of smashing? Or is it because he don't want to ruin his chances of having a successful marriage with this woman in the future. Not take away the scale. Which one is it? Because I guarantee you, when in most encounters, in most relationships that's starting out, the reason why these guys are even entertaining monogamy or commitment, period, because they don't want to ruin the chances of not smashing. That's first. That's the initial thing.
Fair.
Now, later on, when you get into marriage, then yeah. But I'm talking about the initial interaction between a man and a woman. In most cases, I would say maybe 8 out of 10 times, most of the men who are entertaining commitment or any relationship, is the reason why they're doing that is because they don't want to ruin the chances of being able to smash.
Okay.
Initially. And then the commitment and all that stuff come later. Do you agree with that?
That the reason why most men lie is because they don't want to ruin the opportunities to smash.
So basically you agree that most men can't be honest because it takes food off of their table. Put it like that.
Okay.
So we can't be honest because and the guy was right. It causes internal damage because women have been programmed that men are supposed to move like this. Society has programmed people to believe that, hey, look, you're supposed to be monogamous. So what do? We say, okay, yeah, I'm a monogamous. I still want to fuck other bitches, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hurt your feelings and I don't want to ruin the chance of me getting the box. So I'm gonna be down for you and I'm gonna, whatever.
So
you agree with that, right?
Reason.
All right. So basically what you're saying is that most of these men initially lie their ass off to get the box because they can't get it without potentially sacrificing that. And then
I would say men are the first ones out of a relationship to compromise. And we're compromising for a greater good.
You're trying to conflate it because you asked me a specific question about why men initially lie, which is true, is that they don't want to sacrifice the ability to get the box. They know that lying to yield better results than telling the truth a lot of the times. Fair. I agree with that. I also agree with you when you say that a lot of men will probably lie because they don't want to risk the marriage or the relationship. Because in today's society, in this country specifically, whether you want to say they were programmed or that they've always been this way, doesn't really fucking matter. The women more often than not are not rocking with it.
Where are your stats?
And the reason why they're not rocking with it is because we're willing to continue to lie. We're willing to continue to not express how we really want to move. Imagine if men was willing to truly express how he really felt, how this world would be. They would have no choice but to conform. The program would be shit. But there's other things in line that affect that. There's an economy that takes a hit whenever we move like that. Like men are biting a bullet on how they behave naturally in so many ways to make the world a better place. That's why when I hear these women say, "Oh, we don't need men," it just it tickles me, man. Because I'm like, can you imagine if men really wanted to move the way they really wanted to move, how this world would be?
What's stopping us?
Well, but see that, thank you, Darwin, for bringing that up, because that was the next thing I was going to bring up, was that monogamous relationships in marriage have more to do with economic, economy than anything else. It's all about business, right? This is why they won't allow you to marry more than one person. It's not because of some sort of, religious belief. Let's be very honest. This nation is no longer a Christian nation. Although there are Christians in it, this is no longer a Christian nation. We have fallen from grace in this country. Let's be very honest. Look at the policies. Look at the situations that we have created in the culture at large. The things that we have allowed that we wouldn't have allowed 25, 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Let's be very honest. If we're going to live the way that we want to live, we need to be able to set the tone to talk about the things that are present. It has nothing to do, because what happens is that more often than not, the women, it's more about conforming to create some sort of utopian idea for women to live within. If men were like, well, I don't want monogamy, you know what I'm saying? I want this type of situation, right? It's not favorable for them. It has nothing to do with anything about relationship dynamics. It has more to do about economics and stability overall.
And
So let's talk.
the reason why we do it is we don't do it for the women. We do it for the babies. We know that the women have to take care of the kids. So we have to create a place for these women to raise our kids. It's our bloodline that we're protecting, man. It's a survival of the fittest thing. And we do it for our children. That's why men bend and break and destroy our natural thoughts, our way of thinking.
So wait, Darwin, marriage is the thing that procures your bloodline.
Right. Like, what?
Hold on. What did he say?
He said, so marriage is the thing that procures your bloodline. What?
What?
That's what you said.
That's what you said.
What?
Okay, Sweeney, you're not listening. You got the fresh hairdo and you acting up. He just said marriage.
I agree with you. I'm with you. What are you talking about? I'm with you. I'm agreeing with your question. No,
listen, we gonna do it. Remember, we had this discussion about marriage. Marriage is good for who is good for. But when you start making it holier than thou, listen,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Oh, wait, Sweeney, not you. I'm just the point. that don't mean nothing. That's just a piece of paper. That's the contract that you bind to. I'm gonna touch what Lewis said. If you were able to marry 2, 3, 4 wives, and you're able to have them under your cover and doing what you need to do, you'd be more successful as a man. That's a fact.
No, I like the question that you asked.
If they're under your covering and doing what you tell them to do, if you had 4 wives, would you be economically under or over?
Over. You've cut your bills by 25%. You've increased the productivity by 400%. You've increased your time allotted per day by 400%.
And your longevity.
If you had 4 additional women in your house, you cut your bills by 75%.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
they can all work.
If you
stay, that barbershop money ain't gonna be able to cover everything.
Okay, that's you thinking that you're gonna take care of them rather than put them in a position so that you can be economically successful.
Right.
Not having 4 women sit around and knit and crochet.
So basically what y'all said is if you had 4 women out here being the women that they are today, but they all was with you, living with you, paying the bills with you. Okay, I guess.
Hold on, wait. What did you think it was going to be like?
The longest icebreaker we ever had, JL. This happened.
Okay. It is, man. We've been on this shit for 1 hour and 20 minutes, man.
It's got to be the longest.
Golly. This shit ain't real for nobody, man.
Glacier breaker.
This shit ain't working for nobody.
Yeah, if you guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. That like button, also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and get into this main topic, man. I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. I hear you. Let me go ahead and cue it up. Yeah, I was going at it, man. I was making some good points though, man.
Oh man, please believe. I didn't mean to screw it up. I apologize, guys.
No, Kitty, I do. I like that question that you asked Bruce. Though. That shit was funny.
I don't even know what he asked.
He said you need to marry a woman to what did you say? You need to marry a woman to secure your bloodline?
Yeah, secure your bloodline, pretty much. Yeah.
I didn't say you need to marry him. I was referencing what Louis said, and I don't even think he talked about marriage. He was talking about creating a utopia. And I said the reason why we do that is for our children. I rest my case.
Wait, what is it?
You said what you said. Yeah, I remember what you said, so you can clean it up. That turtleneck can still get you guilty in court.
Oh shit. God,
you talk about a utopia, ain't no such thing as that.
Nice though. I give you props.
Continues.
Well, Louise knew what I was talking about.
I blame this on you, Marcus.
All right, let's go and get to this main.
I said Trev right in the beginning and didn't speak. I don't know. JR forced me back into it. I was out the car.
The displacement has become so common that positioning yourself where you're supposed to be is feared. The displacement has become so common that positioning yourself where you're supposed to be Here goes the clip.
Has duped us to such a degree where a man doesn't even know where he is supposed to be positioned. And if a man in a home doesn't know where he's supposed to be positioned, then everything is out of alignment. The devil doesn't even have to attack the woman, because he would usually get to the man through the woman, but he doesn't have to, because he's not even in the right position.
The reason the ignorance is so high is because we're having disposition ignorance get binged and labeled as popular. That is a ignorant podcast, but it's popular, so you binge it and you treat it like it's doctrine. But when you come to the house of God and we give you doctrine, and that doctrine requires a demolition project, that's legalism. That don't take all that. Could it be it's the displacement has become so common that positioning yourself where you're supposed to be is feared? Or what's even worse, sisters, are you attracted to the disposition man? When you're out of position, everybody who's in your position seems to be in position, because we're all in position. It's like if we all go to a barbecue, all of us gonna smell like smoke even though we didn't cook. So it's possible that you yourself have settled because you're attracted to the disposition because you don't know God's original position for the home. And so when you hear God's original position for the home on a post, that sounds like, no, we don't have to do that. No, God is always gonna call Adam first.
That shit was like, man, listen,
just double
that was
talking
the
like
most
motherfucker, boy.
salady,
That was a word
salady,
salad.
double talking-y, pimp speak
Hey, that-
I ever heard in my life.
Pole
That nigga was
pit
up there
That's one of those
pimping.
videos you listen to when you lifting weights.
man. He was pole pit pimping.
Trying to
He
get in that
double
last
talking
set.
like a motherfucker, boy.
If the position and the disposition is disposition, then your position has been dispositioned by the disposition of your position. Like, what the hell is this nigga talking about?
Man, that's a rap battle. That's URL right there without the curse words.
And furthermore,
And if you understand that your position's supposed to be in that position, when she comes in with her position, you don't understand what position the position is. What?
I like how they dismiss that women don't even have are just so fragile to the influence of the devil. Like, if I'm a woman listening to that, I'm like, damn. So I get it, the Adam and Eve story, but there's women out here that are strong in the word spiritually. For them to say that I know they probably lost a lot of female followers.
No, you know what it is? What's the trick? This is why I said it's a lot of double speak, because I guarantee you, I'm sure this is probably like an online sermon or some shit like that. You could probably reach back far enough, and they probably are also pedestalizing the independent woman. You can do it bad by yourself. That nigga ain't shit type of rhetoric too. So then you come back. So you would say that in one sermon, and then turn around and say this in another sermon and tell these women also you need to know your position. You need to know the man's position. And that means God gonna come to the man first. While at the same time telling the women that they should be the head of their own table. Which one is it? This is why nobody fucking trusts the church, because y'all double speaking to these people.
Because I can ask you straight up, should a woman be a preacher?
no.
Yeah, but you can't say that out loud. You ain't use your chest this time, Darwin.
I mean, biblically, if we going by what the Bible says, then no.
Ain't no woman supposed to be in no pulpit, but you can't say with your chest, Darwin. I heard you go, no.
Boy, you want some smoke. Did JR send you a text message to go at Darwin?
Nah,
damn.
You the smooth brother. I think that turtleneck is cashmere.
All I said was don't answer that. Damn, bro.
He said cashmere.
That man put his glasses on. He said, I'm going at the door. He put his hat to the back. Trying to act like he's JR today. You just need a little bit more T Henley, that's all.
Nah, I'm KP all day.
Shout out to that cashmere turtleneck Darwin got on.
No, he need a little bit of assured man.
Oh shit!
See with your chest, Darwin.
Hey, he ain't lying though, because this is why they don't trust the church, man. Because to Kenny's point, it's a lot of double talk. It's a lot of double talk. They say one thing in one sermon, say something different in another sermon, and then expect their congregation to be able to to operate like, no, you're supposed to stand on your square. If that's what you believe, one way or the other, then keep that message. But you can't be out here double talking to people. Because that's how motherfuckers get confused.
But Sweeney, you saying they? No, the women still going to that church. They're not going to stop. That was just a one day for the man, rah for the man. That's all it was. So, but them other 51 weeks,
it's all
get all that. Yeah. So don't worry about it. It was a one day. It was one off. It's probably a men's conference.
What was that? Men's night or some shit?
It was a men's conference, and the women so happened to show up with their husbands or their significant others. And that's what happened. That's all it is.
Pastor was like, we having a men's day next week. Please make sure you ask your husbands to come. You know what I mean? Because I get what he's saying, but that's bullshit because that ain't what you preach every other day. Because we can take
the only thing I don't think it's fair for us to do that, right? Because we don't know. We have to take it as face value because we haven't seen any of the 51 other weeks.
What's the name of that dude? I'll go look my damn self.
Now, if you do that and you find something different, that's cool. But until then, we have to take it at face value.
It's on bedsidebaptist.com, Swing. Just check it out.
I just want to ask a question because I kind of was thrown off. I was thinking about something. You was like when he was speaking, I heard disposition, position so many times it kind of became a jumble in my head. So, was he saying that because everybody's out of position and God is the head of a household, that a man can't step into his role as the head of the household, or do we fear being the head of the household? Which one was it?
I think he was saying that I think he was saying the man was initially out of position in the relationship as the head, as the leader, establishing himself as male leadership, and then that it's easy to attack that household because he wasn't in the right place. He don't even have to attack the woman to get to him because the house is going to fall apart because it's not led by a man. I need to see the comments of that video.
So, that's the part that I didn't like about what he said.
If the man isn't in position, right? Like, so if he's not, I guess in this particular case it would be spiritually grounded, right? Then the woman can't possibly follow you because you're going to lead her in the wrong direction. That's kind of the message I got out of it.
Say that again.
That's an interesting.
So if all right. So let's say if the man is supposed to lead, right? That's what he was saying. They said okay, the man is supposed to lead, but if he's not in his position, right? They're saying he's in disposition, right? How can he lead the household? How can a woman follow you if you aren't even ready to lead? If you're not doing the right thing in the first place, then you're all destined to fail, pretty much.
I think the man that's in a disposition state has somehow come to his senses and be like, okay, look, I need to get out of this position and get myself in the right position, become a leader. And the reason why he's not doing that is because of fear. He's afraid to do that. I think he got complacent, or he got so far into it to where I don't even. I'm gonna just let somebody else explain that because I don't.
I mean, of leadership, he shouldn't be getting married. I'll look to get married no time soon. If you're not in that position, because now you're setting the whole family up for failure. Why would you do that? If I'm the leader of the family, I'm the leader of this woman, and now she's going to depend on me to lead her, and I'm not in the position that I need to be. Yeah, I'm doing a disservice to her and whatever kids we do decide to have. That's not good. So
what if he doesn't know?
What do you mean if he doesn't know?
If he doesn't know that he's in a disposition, what if he thinks that the path that he's taking is the righteous path or the correct path, right? And he thinks he's doing a great job of leading the household. So, and I think that's part of it from what they were saying. Like, what if he doesn't even know that he's doing the wrong thing? He doesn't know. She doesn't know.
Well, if he doesn't, he need to go get some spiritual guidance from whoever he deems he can trust. Now, if that's his pastor or his father or whatever the case may be, he needs to go there, and if he has any questions, if he has any doubts about that, he needs to hold up, take a break on that before and get that them questions answered or them issues dealt with before you put yourself in a situation to ruin someone else.
Hey, Gerald, where you get that clip
I
from?
disagree with that.
I'm gonna put it in there. I'm getting these comments for.
Oh, okay.
So basically, what you
I
saying is if
disagree.
you do what Clout Jones said last King Talk, and you bring a woman into your life to help you get to your purpose, are you dispositioned?
That's what I was about to just say. I completely
Yes.
disagree with this notion.
Yes, I do, because I'm not gonna. Why would I do that though? If I'm not in the position that I need to be in, why would I want to bring anybody who's going to follow up under me, who's going to be expecting me to do certain things, and I'm not the leader that I need to be? Nobody said I'm going to be the perfect leader. Nobody's not going to say I'm not going to make mistakes. I'm going to, but I still need to be to get myself to be able to course correct on spot. I have to be able to do that, and if I can't do that, and I just want to accept and wallow in my bullshit, that's not good for her. That's not good for my son or my daughters.
Isn't life just a series of course
Hey,
corrections?
Sham will bring up some comments for you.
Oh man, this is so good and so true. When the man is out of alignment with God, he attacks his own wife, especially when she's following God. And the devil attacks her too, because her husband is not covering her firsthand knowledge. K
That's
Roach
false.
12. You literally took the statement from my mouth. Jesus. K Jaxie. Michael's was it Michelle's Jacobs? Firsthand knowledge too, huh? It's an awful, seriously awful experience. God is so ridiculously faithful. All my prayers, dear. God is always going to call Adam first.
I gotta interject because this is like a lot of what's being said right now. It's not even in alignment with religious practices. Like
Yeah,
even in
yeah. That's
even in
not
the
even
Bible,
following the right doctrine.
yeah, the Bible has a specific passage where it specifically says that if a woman is to be married to an unevenly yoked man, like a non-believer, that she's still supposed to submit to him because her submission will show him God's love and grace. So basically, just by her being a submissive wife to him, he'll be drawn closer to God through her actions. So I'm kind of opposed to this entire idea that somehow you're supposed to come pre-built, like to be in a position. The position doesn't come before the responsibility. You don't become a king first and then get a kingdom. That's not how it works. You get a kingdom and then you have to fulfill the role of being a king because you have a kingdom. You get a wife and then you have to fulfill the role of husband. You're not a husband until you have a wife. You're not a leader until you have followers. And that's the thing that we keep forgetting. We keep telling people, be a leader, be a leader, be a leader. You're not a leader until someone follows you. You're put in that position by your
criteria?
followers. And
What about
I
criteria?
just want to use a perfect example of this, right? A perfect example of this is like a queen bee. If you take a queen bee out of the hive, right? By herself, she has no hive. You take the queen bee out the hive, all of the bees are going to follow the queen because it's the bees that give her her position as the queen. If there's no hive following the queen, then she's not a queen of a hive. You understand what I'm saying? So what really needs to happen, which I think we keep getting it messed up, like we're supposed to make ourselves leader. No, they have to be. Our followers need to acknowledge that that's already what we are. That's not something that you need to become. It's something you were born and built to be, and you become that the moment they stand under your leadership. That's when you become what you are. So this idea that you got to be ready-made to be a good leader is nonsense. No, they need to fall in line, and the moment they fall in line, you have the opportunity to shine as a leader. But if they don't
I
submit
get
to
what you're
you,
saying, but can you
can't
give me
lead
an
nothing.
example? Can you give us an example of a man who's not on his purpose or not created a stable place for a household? Can you give me an example of a woman coming in to help you build that?
Wait, did you say?
I mean, I'm sure there's countless examples of that. Like literally, like this
So
Barack
basically,
Obama, like literally he wasn't the president when he married his wife. He wasn't the president when he married Michelle.
Clout. That's a
He
good
became the
example.
president.
Clout.
He became the
That's a good
president.
example.
He was an attorney though.
he was
No,
an
he
attorney.
wasn't.
He was an attorney, but his
No, he
purpose.
wasn't.
We're talking about what his purpose.
He was
his
under Michelle.
Matter of fact, yeah, he was. I don't even think he was as successful as she
Nah,
was
he
when he
wasn't
met her.
that yet.
I think she was a
So,
lawyer first.
so
Matter
you
of fact, I
said
think,
he was still an
and
attorney.
honestly, I think
He
the
was
same
still an
thing is true
attorney.
for Bill Clinton and Hillary
Attorney,
Rodham. I
though.
think the
He was
same thing is true
attorney.
for them too.
He
He
was
was
so
an
you're
still, he
saying
was
a
still a
woman?
lawyer, but he was working for her. His first job out of law school was to work for her, and she was kind of his supervisor. She trained him up, and then he passed her by.
He was just getting his bones when he came out. He wasn't that full-fledged.
Yeah, but they kind of both were.
Okay,
she was only a year and a half ahead of him.
Listen, biblically,
So,
right? The Bible talks very specifically about what a virtuous woman is, right? And in one of the passages, it talks about how a virtuous woman can kind of like invest, like she can see a field or whatever, or like a vineyard, and purchase it, and she can like foresee that something's value will go up, right? So that's the way I look at a woman's position. A woman is like an investor in a man. He becomes that leader the moment she's decided to invest in him, because now he's responsible to make fruit out of her, to grow her investment. But it's up to her to do the research and be like, look, and keep her eye on the guy that she wants, and say, look, this is who I'm going to invest in. I'm going to invest my all into helping him fulfill his purpose. That's what
So
it's
you know,
about.
you done fucked up, right?
How
You know
did I
you done
fuck up?
fucked up. Oh, you done fucked up. Let me tell you where you messed up at.
Here we go.
I'm glad you use investor. When you go and invest, let's just say Robinhood. When you go and invest, you are investing in stocks that's already established, that's already growing.
That's not necessarily
Not
true.
always. That's not always necessarily
No.
true. There's IPOs, there's penny stocks. As a matter of fact, a lot of time when people make billions of dollars, they're making billions of dollars off of IPOs and penny stocks. They're not making billions off of blue
They're
chip
public,
stocks.
though. They're public.
There's a company that's being ran behind that investment agency.
But a
It's
company
already
can be
generating
public and be
revenue on a level of
failing.
where it allow people to open up options.
Listen, during the pandemic,
Not
GameStop
like
was failing,
30
wasn't
days.
it? And people were still investing in GameStop to the point where they bought GameStop back to life. The same thing happened with Lowe's. Lowe's
But it was a
movie
company
thing.
that
I mean,
was
AMC.
already-
The same thing happened with AMC.
What was done with them was illegal.
There are multiple. Hold on, if we're going to use the example of corporations, there are multiple examples of a company about to go bankrupt or going under, and someone invests into it and brings it back to life. So would you say that company wasn't on its purpose?
He messed up with the
example that he's
investment. He should
using
stay
is
away.
what he's trying to tell you is that these companies had to have done something to even have stocks to be able to be traded.
Y'all must that don't make no damn sense. No, you don't have to do anything to have stock to be able to trade, but be a C-class corporation. That's it. You could literally have done nothing and trade publicly as a C-class corporation and not made $1. What are y'all even talking about? All you have to do is be a C corp, and you can be public and launch an IPO, and that's it. And you can be
Okay, so let's bring it back
You don't
down
have
to
to. First off, a lot of the companies, some of the biggest companies, haven't made no money. Spotify hasn't made $1 yet. Uber hasn't made $1 yet. Lyft hasn't made $1 yet. None of those companies have profited, and yet people are still investing in them. So again,
you're missing the point. I think because you fighting this argument so much that you're missing the overreaching point that they're trying to explain. You're using companies like GameStop, companies like Spotify, $1 billion valuated companies like Spotify, to make a point that a Spotify is just a regular dude. Spotify wasn't Spotify when it started. That's my point. Somebody saw it before it was the Spotify it is today and invested in it. And the investments and the money that they were able to raise is how they were able to have an IPO and be in front of us today. Not because they were doing anything. Have a conversation with me. You yelling. I don't like. That's why I keep my shit on mute most of the time, because y'all be yelling. Don't yell at me. Just have a conversation with me.
The term is angel investor, by the way.
What I'm saying is this: in order for the angel investor, because I'm an angel investor, in order for you have to have a prospectus. You have to show me what you've done before I cut you a check.
The receipt.
You're not gonna come to me with
that's
an
your pitch.
idea.
That's your pitch.
No, listen to me. You're not gonna come to me with an idea. You're not gonna go to Silicon Valley with an idea all on paper with no history behind you.
You gotta have a red herring.
That
doesn't happen.
Shannon, it happens every day. There are literally companies that raise millions of dollars just off of a prospectus, like you said. They do it all the time. Companies that don't even have a prototype are able to raise millions. For example, the Fire Festival is a perfect example of that. They raised tons of money in the Fire Festival. They hadn't even had booked. They had nothing in order, and they were able to rally celebrities behind them. This is done in the business world every single day.
But that's because they had to have Ja Rule name behind it. And
Y'all
Ja
are missing
Rule
my
had to be
point.
Listen to
Oh
me.
yeah, we got
y'all,
back into the main
Ja
topic.
Rule had
hold
to
on.
become something in order for the Fire Festival to have these
Y'all are
people buy
missing my
into it.
point though. Y'all are missing my point.
No, I think
My point. No, no.
get it,
We got
My
to tap
point. Hold on. Let me just bring it full circle. The best investors, the best ones, not the everyday investors, the absolute best ones. Their skill is finding companies before they've made it. That's how they get rich. The people who make billions off of trading and stocks, they don't make most of their money from buying blue chip stocks and companies that are already established. They usually find something. For example, 50 Cent invested in vitamin water before it was vitamin water, and he made about 400 million because they got bought by Coca-Cola. When he bought into vitamin water, they were an extremely small company and they were not shipping major units. It was his investment that helped them make it to be the vitamin water that we know today. So that's the same example I'm using with women and men. If women are good investors, they will find the right man to invest in. And if they invest properly, their investment will help him grow into the leader that they want. The same way you invest into a small company and it grows into a larger company.
I got you.
That's all
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Just know that vitamin water started in 96. 50 didn't invest until 2004. So when you got 8 years of a company that's going, in order for 50 to give them the millions that he gave them so they could become who they were to sell to Coca-Cola, they had to have started in 96 and become a little something. And what we're saying is men need to become a little bit of something.
Y'all are making it sound like I said men are supposed to be bums. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously,
that's what it sounds like I'm saying.
I never made any. I never said a man should do absolutely nothing. And
no, but you should say he should have
I'm
to
just
have
saying he doesn't have to be completed. He doesn't have to be finished.
Yes.
He's a work in progress. Y'all are saying that men need to be a finished work in order to get up. All I'm saying is that the notion that a man has to be a completed work before he's able to lead someone is false. That's all I'm saying.
So you're talking about stages. Okay.
All right, let's go to Hink and let's go to Sweeney. Go ahead, Hink.
No, I wasn't saying the man had to be completed. Of course, you're always going to be a work in progress. You're always going to be building and getting better. But what I'm saying, you have to have something. I got to bring something in order to show my worth and my value before I that. Yeah, yes, exactly, Marcus. Make that type of investment.
Well, are we not men here? Are we not? We're not a bunch of boys here. We all men. We all have value, clearly.
I got you. But answer to the question of this video, yeah, it was a lot of fluff, man. But like we seen in the comments, like I said, them women that was all in agreement. They okay with, because it sounds like they was giving them excuses. They was giving these pastors, or at least the two that I heard, was giving them a parachute on how to get out of this plane that's going down. It's exactly what they was doing. So, I expect that. That was one of the 51 weeks that they were supposed to cater and pander to the women. We're going to get one. It'll probably be on Father's Day. That's the only day they're going to give us, and they'll preach a good sermons for us and talk about how great we are as men and as fathers. But, the other 51s, hey, congratulations, ladies.
All right, let's go to Sweeney then, Kenny.
Well, shit. To the actual topic, I think I said what I wanted to say about that. I really wanted to kind of address what Clout was saying.
Yeah, like you said, you agree with him.
And he's absolutely right. It happens every day. Every single day. Just go outside. Every single day, a woman gets with a man that ain't all the way there. And I mean, because when we say you have to be all the way there, what exactly are we speaking to?
That's why I
are we
saying
that he has to have a home that he already owns, a job that pays $140,000 a year, or are we saying, hey, you got to be a motherfucker that know how to pay bills and be a willing husband and a willing father?
The second one. That's what we're saying. Nobody's saying a motherfucker got to be balling out and then now you can go date. We're saying be something. Have something. Don't get to the point. Don't get into a relationship where you got to go fucking couch surfing and drive her car when she goes to work. Don't be Jody from Baby Boy and shit. That's what we're saying.
I don't think anybody's like nobody. That goes without saying. Nobody's saying, "Hey, look, be a bum on somebody's couch." And I don't think that's what Cloud was referencing. I think he's referencing, "Hey, a dude has a a 1-bedroom apartment or something like that, and he gets with another woman, and they both work and pay bills and take care of a house, and they both get married. Like that's how most relationships happen. Most people ain't got all of that shit. We all understand you can't be a bum. I think that goes without saying.
And that's my argument. A lot
No,
of people
it don't go without saying.
How many people do you know? What part of society do we accept bums?
But Sweeney, the average person not getting married today in their 30s. So by then, you ought to have some type of goddamn plan.
Average person gets married at 27.
Okay, I don't believe not in 2024 they don't. I believe about
the
30.
Numbers
But
is
I
there. How do we not believe the numbers?
I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers. Have you seen the numbers?
Yes.
Okay. Even if I go by what you're saying, even if I go by what you're saying, 27. You by then you still should have a game plan, some type of plan.
What type of game plan are you
without a
speaking to?
plan at the age of 27?
What type of game plan are you speaking to?
On what you're gonna do for your life? What is gonna be your career? What is your plan for maybe possibly how many children you're gonna have?
Most motherfuckers work regular jobs, man. They not. Most people work jobs.
But that don't mean we got to do what most people do.
No, what I'm saying is, hold on, wait. What I'm saying is, wait. What I'm saying is that we're looking.
You making excuses for motherfuckers.
Most people do
Think of us excusing most
like everybody out here is just bums and ain't shit. Most of these people, the people that build your roads and all that shit, these are just regular ass people with regular ass jobs doing regular ass shit.
Living paycheck to paycheck.
That's their plan, though. Maybe that's their plan, and that's all they want, and that's cool. But you have, if I'm going to engage and create a family and have a wife, I got to have some type of plan. That's what's wrong with our people now. Hold on, let me finish, Sweeney. That's what's wrong with our people now. We don't ever have a plan. We don't plan for shit. We don't plan for nothing. What our investments, our kids, our family, our kids' college fund. We have no plan. We just ride off the whim and pray and hope to the good white God that everything goes well.
You do know college is an elite institution, right?
You said
you do know college is an elite institution.
Yeah, but Sweeney, there are other paths that other people can take. Not everybody's going to go to college. There are also other avenues that people can also take.
I agree with that. Most people do are alignment with what their parents did and what their previous parents did. I'm asking, what
I don't fully agree with that.
What exactly? Yes, they do. This is normal life. If your parents were tradesmen, more than likely the kids gonna be tradesmen, and then so on and so forth. Because I think Antonio Moore spoke to this. When you look at the people who actually are able to afford college, unless you're taking out hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans, it's an elite institution. You talking about college funds. Most people just, hey, look, get you a job, go out there, work like everybody else does. That's most people. Work, pay bills, come home. Work, pay bills, come home.
Other avenues like trade school, community college. Shoot, there are programs right now online that you can take for people coming out of high school that are vested in tech and in some other roles. You know what I'm saying? Let's not shorten the world or shrink it down to a hand size for a lot of young people who are listening to this. You know what I'm saying? To make it seem like it's doom and gloom. You're only gonna live to pay bills and that's it. That's not the right message that we should be.
That's not what I said. When did I say that it's doom and gloom? When did I say it was doom and gloom for people to be normal?
No, but Sweeney, you said most regular people, this is what they're gonna do.
They go to work, come home, pay bills. Is that not true?
Sweeney, like we all poor, so fuck it.
That's okay.
I didn't say we all poor. Most of us make normal money. Can afford a house. That's not poor.
$38,000 is poor to me.
Who said $38,000? The average construction work only makes
that's
50.
The average. That means half of them is above that, and the other half is low. A lot of us is living at the poverty line.
But the average, which is the vast majority, average means 50% or better. Median. 50% or more make about $53,000 a year. I didn't know you pair that with another person that makes 45, 50, and I didn't know that was poor.
This conversation right here is an accountability test. Because if we as kings are able to come here as a circle with women listening and able to agree that, hey, look, if we change the way we think, if we level up our standards, a little bit of the way these women are behaving and moving It won't happen like that.
What was the income that separated our grandparents from our grandfathers from our grandmothers? What was the income?
Swing, you're looking at this from a completely different lens. We're looking at a completely different lens. We're talking about people understanding if they want a certain lifestyle, a certain, expectation for themselves, they need to charter out a plan. And what's unfortunately not happening is people are not asking the right questions. I see that man over there owning that big ass house. How did he do it? How did he charter that path? Unfortunately, people are not asking the questions. They're looking at the end result and not asking how are the steps to be created to get there. You know what I'm saying? And aligning with people, having conversations that are fruitful, talking about either financial investment, where can they park their money? You know what I'm saying? What are new startups that they could look into? And also getting a new skill. Look, like people, like the things are changing. Like 10 years from now, like the world is going to be completely different. You know what I'm saying? The things of the past are going to be obsolete. You know what I'm saying? And trying to encourage people to talk about the things that are actually going to set them up for success rather than looking at things about whether, 50 years ago, our grandparents made this or that. You're absolutely right, but we're not there anymore. We're advancing, and we need to get on that train to that direction. Because right now, we're just sitting at the train stop, and we can't even afford the ticket to get on the damn ride.
And we last in line.
What see what you did talking about, man? Look what you did, Sweeney. Luis wouldn't be raising his voice like that. It wasn't for your black ass and your crazy ass.
Shit right now, bro. Y'all talking nuts. This is crazy.
So I got a question.
Y'all just basically looked at everybody in the world and said, "Hey, look, I know that you're a construction worker and you make good money, but nigga, you ain't shit, bro. Nigga, you ain't shit. You ain't got your shit together." That's what
nobody has done
that. Nobody's downing it, right? Nobody wants to down it.
Hold on, y'all. Let's get Trey, Marcus, and Kenny in there.
So we don't want to down anyone, right? But we absolutely want to encourage people to strive for more, right? I think many times we're just way too complacent. We don't look at the bigger picture. We don't look at legacy. We don't look at our generations. None of us ever talk about generational wealth. We don't really talk about investments. These aren't the type of conversations that we have, right? Well, we have a poor mindset. Like, I'm starting to learn so much more about finances. You need to get into the circles where people talk money. People who talk money all day. People do not leave behind wealth. We leave behind debt in most cases, and that's crazy, right? And nobody else is really doing that. We're at the bottom of the barrel. So all we're saying is that we need to aim higher, right? We need to think about excelling and leaving generational wealth. We have to. There's no way that we can be satisfied or complacent with the way things are going right now. We have to be thinking about, all right, what's the next financial move that I can make, right? No matter what, we need to keep working. We need to step it up because we can't say that odds aren't against us because they are. We understand that. But in spite of that, we still have to excel. There's two types of people in the world. Those people who can't do because, and the other person is who did it in spite of. Which one you think gonna win? And that's the mentality we have to adapt to. We need to excel, and there's so much work that we have to do, and so much that we need to teach our children. When you give your money to people, you go to like the Dollar Tree or McDonald's or some shit, they can't even count no damn change, and it's crazy. I give them change. It's like, and I don't do it all the time, but I just look to see what's gonna happen, and it's like, what the hell? You couldn't count 67 cents? What's going on with life right now, man? Kids can't write in cursive. I had to teach my kids in cursive because they only know print. They don't know anything about manuscript. There's so much they can't read analog clocks. If I give them a Movado, they're gonna be like, what the hell is this? They don't understand so much. There's so many fundamentals that are missing. Like they don't know how to balance they don't know how to balance checkbooks. I'm like, damn, so many fundamentals are missing. There's so much more work that we have to do
because it's obsolete.
What's obsolete?
Balancing a checkbook is literally obsolete.
Okay. Well,
reading cursive is obsolete.
Okay. God damn.
What I mean?
You should know how to sign your name. You should know how to sign your name.
What I mean by that?
Sweeney, you taking it somewhere else. I wasn't done. Hold on, Sweeney. I wasn't done. What I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of fundamentals that we're missing in schools, right? Financial literacy is not obsolete. And a lot of schools are not teaching that. There's so much that we have to, there's so many gems that we have to give to our children that we're not. And just a frame of mind that we have to pass on to our children is to want more for your family, want more for the next generation, want more for your last name. That's what we're missing, and we don't dig into that enough. That's all I'm saying. It's not about downing anyone, because if you living like that and you cool with the struggle, if you're complacent, I'm not mad at you for that. Some people like the simple life. I don't want that for my children. I want them to be afforded the best opportunity possible. What is generational wealth? When
how
the
much
next
do you
people
think it needs to have to qualify as generational wealth?
There's not a number.
Oh, you're talking about millions.
There's not a
Millions.
number.
You
No,
need
no,
millions.
no.
You need
millions for it to qualify as generational wealth.
And that's right now, but that's subject to change because currency fluctuates. But what the more important thing is to have the frame of mind. So no matter what the financial situation is, they'll be able to excel through that anyway. It's about the frame of mind. That's what's most important.
So you need millions.
That's what we're getting at.
You don't need millions.
You really want to put a number on it, but what I want to do is put a frame of mind on it, right? It's to not be complacent and to strive to be the best that you possibly can be. That's all I'm saying.
I give you a small sentimental example.
Y'all didn't they didn't let me finish why I said that that's obsolete,
Okay,
because balancing the checkbook is basically understanding what your expenses are and what the income is into that account. You literally have a computer that does that for you.
Spreadsheet.
So you don't do checks and balances on that. You just
You
assume
have an account
right.
that literally tells you that.
I don't care. I do not
does
care.
the math for you right there.
Spreadsheets do it
Do
for
you
you.
trust the bank too?
Spreadsheets do it for you. Computers
You
literally
trust
do it
everything the
for you.
bank tells you and post on your account numbers? You don't ever do balance checks and
Even
balances
if I
on
did,
that?
I think the bank is pretty
I've caught
goddamn
mistakes and got my money back. I've caught mistakes and got my money back. I've caught mistakes. I've caught mistakes. You can't completely rely on that.
Yeah, I don't trust them like that. So how can we
Well,
expect
not trusting and saying that it's not
Let
obsolete
me
is two
speak.
totally different things.
Let me have the mic for a second, sweet. How can we sit there to ask women to follow us and to trust us and to acquiesce to what we got going on in our plan, but we sitting there telling people, no, we ain't got to be leaders. You can just be whatever you want to be. I don't have no type of plan at all. That makes no sense. I wouldn't put my daughter in my situation like that when she was meeting her husband. There's no way. My woman who I'm about to marry, there's no way she would get with me if I didn't have some type of plan. Matter of fact, I have to kill myself if I ain't got a goddamn plan. I failed my goddamn self, let alone my future wife.
Look, look, man, if there's one thing that could be said, go ahead,
I'm
Clark.
just curious. I'm just curious. Are we all here coming from a perspective of like a belief in God? Or not? Or not really?
No, we're coming from a perspective of men that need to have a standard, a mutual standard that all men can follow that's watching this. That way, when women coming into our lives, they'll be.
I'm asking
about millions of generational wealth.
Hold on. Let him finish. Go ahead, Cloud.
Yeah, I'm asking that because it's like, if that's the case, right? I'm just saying, like, there's so many examples, just even biblically, of men having wives and not having a plan, and God gave them the plan. Like, they didn't even have the plan till last minute. They were just having faith in God. Then that's what they was doing. And a lot of the whole reason that we talk about this biblical hierarchy, because we talk about it a lot on the show, we always say is God, and man submits to God, woman submits to man, and child submits to the woman, right? So my whole thing is like, if we're coming from a religious perspective anyway, then aren't you not even supposed to be leaning on your own understanding and putting your faith in God to lead you? So technically, like, if God's leading you, then it's not your plan anyway. It's God's plan. So you're supposed to be following God's plan for you, and your woman's supposed to be following that plan. So again, like, I'm just trying to understand what perspective we're coming from, because we're coming up with it like there's supposed to be some plan that's beyond what man's purpose is. And again, like, I feel like we're not understanding what man's purpose is. Man's purpose is that man is a direct conduit to God. Our logical thinking is a direct reflection of God's logic on earth. That is why we're fit to lead. Y'all, I feel like y'all are looking for a reason to be fit to lead and not understanding what it is that you are. You are men. The logic that you have is the same logic that God built the universe with. That's how you're designed to think. So you're already a leader. It's whether or not you're going to exercise your leadership skills or not. So my brain just can't compute this idea of I have to somehow prove I'm a leader first before being in the leadership position. The only way to do it is by leading. That's it. You put me in a situation to lead and solve a problem. That's what I'm gonna do because I'm a man. So I don't know what other format we're functioning under here.
So
Like
this
we're
is
making
what,
it seem as though like this is not our default setting. This is our default setting. This is not something we have to learn. This is not something we have to figure out. This is not something that needs to be validated by material or worldly success. This is what we are or wired to be as men. All you have to do is be a man. That's it.
Go out there and
Lead.
try to get shit
That's it.
done.
so can I say something? I get what you're saying, Cloud, and it's a confusion. I get it. This conversation, specifically this topic, is going to require us as men to be a little bit more personal.
Aspirational.
Instead of using statistics, what men commonly do, religious, how about we use our own examples, our own experiences of how, we position ourselves to be men of whatever standard we are. So I'll go first. Me personally, I had a plan. My plan was to go to college. Let me start back. My plan was to go to the military, retire from the military, and then find a wife. I wanted to make sure that I was able to provide for a family. And the woman I chose, I wanted to make sure that she came from a household that had a representation of marriage. And I wasn't going to accept this woman into my life until I was able to be able to replicate what her father did. Not on the same level, but be going in that direction. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't already established on a level to where I can just take where we at right now. We got about 3,000, almost 4,000 square feet, living in the 600s and above over here in Georgia. Subdivision. We doing really good. Way better than anybody, any of my siblings or anybody. They'll tell you. But I wanted to make a plan for myself because I wanted to set a standard. I wanted to set example, not based on statistics, not based on the Bible, based on my sons. I wanted to give them a blueprint to follow based on how I, articulated or orchestrated what I have here. So I'm not going to be long-winded, but I think this is something, if we tell a little bit about ourselves and how we came to our point of view or our perspective, we might be able to have a better understanding in this conversation than saying, okay, look, this is what the stats say. Most men don't do that. What the fuck are you doing? How about that? Because a lot of people who point out these statistics, they probably ain't doing shit. I'm not going to pull out a stat. I'm just going to tell you what the hell I'm doing. And if you can understand that, then, so be it. So I'll just let somebody else talk.
I never talk about anything. When I asked y'all that question, about a month ago, do you think you are the accurate representation of the average everyday man? And I said, I believe that I am. That's the reason why. I didn't say anything that I'm not used to or that I haven't done or that I haven't lived. Me and my wife been together for 14 years. I just married her 4 years ago, but I'm the very thing that I said that you see it every single day. Two regular people get together and they grow together and they go on to do what they supposed to do. Most people, where that's why I asked, I'm like, what is the minimum for generational wealth? Because generational wealth is just passing something down. Passing a house down to your kids is paid off as generational wealth.
I do not agree with that. That is wrong.
That's the dictionary definition of generational wealth.
Hold on, no. Hold on. Your children are your lineage. The things that you instill in your children and you teach them is the generational wealth. The things you leave behind are assets.
That's what? Come on, now we just changing the definition of shit. Because that's literally what generational wealth is. We can't change it to say, oh, well, what you teach you. Obviously, we know that you.
What are you talking about? There's classic examples of that, man. Look at the Vanderbilts. Like they passed down the money, but they didn't pass down the knowledge. And they ended up, and everything that they built from the beginning was lost.
But that's not my point.
Swing, you can't put a price tag on knowledge, though.
I didn't say that.
That's the right word. That's the right word. Knowledge.
Passing down generational knowledge. It's generational knowledge.
Knowledge, passing down assets, which is generational wealth, is leaving your next generation in a better financial
Something
state
that you
yourself.
something that you left them that you passed down to them. That
So
they
if I
didn't.
teach my son about financial literacy, that's
not
creative.
generational wealth. That's
Okay.
teaching them
That's
about
not just,
finance.
no, you're giving him knowledge.
I understand. Oh, okay.
Generational wealth is a given asset.
Go ahead. I
that
mean,
improves-
Sweet, was you done confessing your lifestyle and how you came up?
I mean, shit, I'm no different from any other regular person.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about my plan, how it was. So when I graduated from high school, my thing was to go to college. First, I didn't know I was going to get the opportunity to go to college because I didn't know no scholarships. Because please believe, I came from a family couldn't afford to pay for college and couldn't take cosign on city loan. But I got blessed and got a college scholarship to play football at Murray State. So my plan was to go there, go to the league. That's what my plan was. Of course, that changed real fast due to a couple injuries, and that changed. So now my plan was by my junior year, get my college degree, go back to my home state, and teach and educate and be an assistant coach and maybe be a head coach someday. That was my plan. Of course, things changed. I had a daughter, so I had to make another adjustment. But I was still able to get my degree, do what I want to. Fortunate for me, I had great teammates I talked to and educated me about being financial literate and about financial literacy. Of course, back in my time, they used to have that in class where they taught you how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook, and all of that. That was in my home economic class. That was in, but I got the bare minimums. I took a couple business courses in order to get this knowledge. Like I said, my buddy, my best friend from Arkansas, his dad's a financial a home loan officer. He taught me about buying homes, buying property, buying land, and all of that good stuff. Got that knowledge, and utilize it. Now, I inherited a house and I bought a house and I got my current house. Well, now I got 3 homes that I'm invested in. Why? Because I learned this knowledge and passed it on. My son knows about this. I've been teaching my son about financial literacy ever since he was a freshman in high school. My daughter, I did the same way because I have a plan. I had planned for them and a plan for myself to pass that knowledge on to them. That was all part of the game plan. And when I got married, I had a plan. She already knew the plan. I make sure I present the plan to her in order to say I do, because I don't want to get a woman who doesn't have a father figure in her life who knows what it is for a man to take care of a woman. She knew all of this. Now, fortunately, that plan changed because I got divorced. Now I'm in a new relationship, about to get married again. I had to present my plan to her, let her know she wouldn't a good woman, a woman in her right frame of mind, wouldn't want to deal with no man who doesn't have a plan. So I had to make sure I present it to her. I'm done.
Hey, Hink, you got a daughter and a son?
Yes, sir.
They're both adults?
My daughter's 28 and my son just turned, he's 18. Freshman in college.
So he just becoming an adult. You got 3 houses?
Yes, sir.
What you gonna do with those
One
houses?
I died and 2 I rent.
What are you gonna do with them when you die?
Right now, in my living will, it's set up for my kids to inherit.
Okay,
that's what it's set up now. Once I get married, that will change.
Okay, so this is the generational wealth versus generational knowledge, education, financial conversation. So wealth is something that you can count. How many beans is in my hand and shit? I got these beans. I didn't have them before. I got them now. I got a son. Son, these beans are yours. And the son takes these beans and he counts them and says, damn, thanks, Dad. Without you, I would not have beans. But because of you, Father, I have beans. So the whole generational wealth conversation isn't, well, son, I want to teach you how to grow your own beans. That's not generational wealth. That's just giving them game. But generational wealth is where I've acquired something and then I pass it on to somebody else. So just want to be clear for everybody to understand the difference between teaching and giving the game and showing them how to do certain things and showing them how to fish versus giving them fish or giving them the fishing poles and the boat to go fishing. Generational wealth means that you are giving assets, tangible things or intangible in terms of money, things to somebody behind you that you acquired without them actually having to do the work. All right. Next person.
I just want to add to that. Can I add to that?
Yeah, but the
'Cause I feel
knowledge
like
also has to be entwined with that too.
No, it doesn't.
no, I would kind of disagree only with one thing Shan said, which is like the beans is a bad example, right? The beans is a bad example because beans are consumable. A good
What kind of
example would
beans?
be
Baked beans or jelly
a
beans?
good example would be if the father planted a bunch of bean stalks and then gave the son the land with all the bean stalks in it, and it's constantly producing beans. That would be generational wealth. Giving him the beans wouldn't be the generational wealth because he could eat them beans and then there ain't no beans left. But he can't eat the whole bean. He can't eat the beanstalk garden. You know what I'm saying? He
But
can't.
actually, Clout. But even then, it's still. If we wanted to look at it figuratively speaking, it is still the wealth. What he does with it is still on him. You still
Yeah,
had
what he
him.
does
You
with it,
still
you
gave
just
him
gotta
the
see
wealth.
it. You still
Now, if
you
he
gotta
go and blow the
I
money,
would classify
he
those as
still blew it.
riches.
But
I would classify those as riches, but not wealth. Because
Wait,
from
Clark.
my
Wait, Clark.
perspective,
What?
wealth is
What if
something
you eat
that
the beans
reproduces
and the
itself.
beans make him stronger or something like that?
It wouldn't
No,
matter
because
because it wouldn't be generation like it wouldn't be generational
well,
because it wouldn't be continuing to produce.
well, Cloud, I get what you're saying. That's what they teach in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I teach. I played a game. I bought it from Robert Kawasaki. Here's cash flow from him, where the difference between rich and wealth. Rich means you got a bunch of money. Wealth means your money is making money.
Making
So
money
I understand
while
what
you're
you're saying. But the point is, you can still fuck off that land, and you can fuck off those beans. You can burn down those bean stalks.
And
So
still
if you
wealth.
got so you got the kid with the beans, and you say, "Well, I ain't give you no land," but it's still something. He could eat them, but he can also burn those stalks down. I think that's what Sweeney is trying to explain. No, the point is, I gave you something. Now, what you do with it, I hope you do something well with it. But I gave you something where before that you had nothing. So
the smart man would plant the beans. Hold on, wait. That's seeds. Never disregard.
The bean,
No, you can plant
bean
beans.
is a seed.
The
The
bean
bean
is
is
a
a
seed.
tangible asset. Is how
because all
that is it.
generational wealth is you passing something down from one generation to the next.
Yep.
I'm giving
No,
you
that's
something.
an inheritance. That's an inheritance. That's not
What
generational
you
wealth.
think?
That's what the
passing
definition of generational wealth
is?
is generation passing one thing to another generation. That's what generational wealth means, is that I'm one generation and I pass some shit down to the
That's
next
an
generation.
inheritance. Yes.
That's an inheritance, but I mean, I guess that's generational wealth then.
I mean, we changing the word, but that's all it
there's
really
so many
means.
Nah, because not everybody that got an inheritance has generational wealth.
No, that's what I'm saying is that we're muddying the waters
Okay,
as
wait a
if
minute,
generational wealth is supposed to
wait a minute.
trans.
That's
We're
not-
saying
That's not
we're
partial.
muddying the waters by saying generational as if it's supposed to that generational means it has to span across multiple generations. That's not necessarily true. Generational just means from one generation to the next generation.
So let me ask you this, Sweeney.
All right, I'm looking at the definitions and it's saying basically it has to be an asset. It has to be an asset that's passed down from one generation to another. So if it's
So let
not
me
an
ask
asset,
you this,
it's
Sweeney.
not generational wealth.
Let me ask you this,
And
Sweeney.
an
Do you think
asset
an
is something
asset?
that brings in money.
Okay.
So let me
both
ask you
have
this
value.
question real quick. So Sweeney, do you think this is an asset? Okay, can this be classified as an asset? I give you a business that grosses $46,000 a month, but the only way to gross $46,000, I had to give you the strategy on how to make that money and maintain it. I could give you the wheels, I can sign over the company, but unless I give you the strategy and the key to maintaining 46,000 or higher, which is a quota for the company, isn't that knowledge considered an asset on Lewis's defense?
No.
Wouldn't it be intellectual property?
Because
he
the
couldn't
thing
sell
is,
that
the building, the equipment, everything in there still has value. You're passing them
What are
down
the most
as valuable
Okay,
things.
so
What
let
they
me
do
argue.
with
Let me
it-
argue that. What are the most valuable asset or the most valuable part of that generation wealth is actually being able to generate 46,000, and that code, that knowledge allows you to be able to bring a company up from the ground at any given
Still
moment.
not generational wealth. Still not wealth.
This is why the recipe to Coca-Cola is hidden in the vault.
Lewis, you got
knowledge
you went
is an
out
asset.
I think
but
we let definitions restrict
intellectual
our
property is an
ability to be
asset.
able
It goes up
to
in value.
Intellectual property isn't.
But the knowledge is also the intellectual property.
No, there's an actual tangible thing that says this is how you make Coca-Cola, which is the actual asset. And if you gave it to everybody, of course it would. Of course, I will lock my recipe in the vault.
The asset
is the Coca-Cola. But I'm not trying to have anybody replicate what I have as an
No, that's
asset.
not true because I watched Good Burger, and I'm gonna tell you, when I watched Good Burger,
This nigga said
that
Good
recipe they had in that sauce was the main asset.
Okay,
it wasn't the ground beef. It wasn't the ground chuck. It was the goddamn ingredients.
Use Coca-Cola is a,
So hold on. Why are you locking up the ingredients in the safe, but you won't balance your goddamn checkbook?
No, I know he was going to get you for
first
that.
and foremost,
Because your
I didn't
checkbook's
say,
not an asset.
I didn't say that you don't balance a check. I said to actually the physical aspect of having a checkbook and having to balance it is obsolete in comparison to the fact that we actually have computers and things like that to actually do the work for you.
You know what? You know what, Sweeney? I got your number.
That's all I said was obsolete.
I'm just
I got you. No, I got him. I got him in my trick bag. I just put him in my trick bag.
You would actually be losing money. You actually losing money every time you try to balance your checkbook.
I got you, Sweeney. I got your ass. Now I'm about to say this, and listen, this fit. Hey, Sweeney, you a barber, right?
Yep.
So whenever you pass down your generational wealth as a barber, are you gonna pay? Is it better for you to pass down them goddamn wall clippers, them T-liners, or the knowledge on how to do a fade?
I want to see how you're gonna answer this to me.
You said which one would be more valuable?
See, that ain't what I said.
You said which one would be considered the asset passing down?
What is more of generational wealth? Them T-liners? What do y'all do? Babyless T-liners? Or the damn teach them how to do a damn fade on that damn mannequin at home.
The T outliners.
Oh God, Lord!
I don't think y'all understand.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. The T outliners, because I don't give a fuck how much I tell them how to do a fade. If they ain't got no T outliners, you can't do it.
Okay, watch this. You let him craft the question where you couldn't answer correctly. Your money would be accrued by the money you made, possibly buying the barbershop, having a tangible property from off your work, freak T-lines and clippers. If you don't have the skill to go and cut, those are obsolete. You just going to patch people head up.
That's not true.
You know how I got my start was because somebody gave me a pair of
not paying attention.
No, y'all talking to a barber who got his start because I was able to, because somebody gave me a pair of clippers.
Okay, watch this.
I don't care how much I sat there and watched a motherfucker cut hair. I don't care how many YouTube videos I watched on how to cut hair until I actually got a pair of clippers in my hand to do the work. There was no cutting hair.
That's interesting, Sweeney. That's almost like how I said you're not a leader unless you have someone following you, right? Kind of the same thing.
Jesus Christ.
There is no cutting hair without the clippers.
Nobody agreed with you but Sweeney.
Okay.
Hey, look. Sometimes being the smartest motherfucker in the room is a lonely spot.
Well, you ain't the smart one, dude.
That's all my life.
You know, it's a good question. It's a good question that Bruiser posed. Okay, give real life scenarios about yourself. So here's my pushback and the caveat when I hear Hank say what he says. He's correct. You understand? If I'm listening to Hank, the conservative view says to spend time with that person, ask questions, and evaluate by the eye test and valid findings. When necessary information is clear, either explore further or part ways. That's the easiest way you could do it. Okay, he got this, he got that, things are lined up. That works for me or it doesn't work for me. But that doesn't speak for the person who was accomplished and then something catastrophic happened. And I'm talking for myself. In 2012, I had a house in Brooklyn when I moved to Brooklyn, which was $512,000. It's $1 million home now. But I wasn't able to keep it because I had horrible tenants. And at that point in time, I had a woman in my life, right? But I had people saying, you know, you're that person. A lot of people are hypocritical. They get on the pulpit and, you know, espouse critiques, flinging stones, and they live in glass houses. Don't let that fly over your head. You understand? Categorically, a man could fail. The lady that was with me, she left me. You understand? Whole world, vehicle repo, the whole nine. Old taxes, worst time in my life. That time, you saying, while I'm building myself up, credit destroyed, a woman is never supposed to touch me if she doesn't see me with the prototypical 700 score, everything together. He's a bad bet. Rather than sit down with that man, I'm going back to the conservative view. See what he's about, see how he's able to, is gonna pick himself up and then make a valid discussion at that point in time. I'm gonna rock with this dude. I see he has an ambition. I see he, life knocked him down, but you got to go through something to get through something. But he's not trying to stay there. It's okay to be messed up, but not okay to stay there. Then years later, he worked it back, credit score back up, mid-sevens, paid off all prior debts, IRS good with him. You're making it sound like those guys, when y'all make those judgment calls, are losers. And that's how some feel. Because I've heard people say that. They said it to me, but then they watch me do the 360. And those are the same people that can't say nothing now. They're not blocked or anything. So I think we have to be like real careful, because there's a caveat of people that life happens. And you might not know their story, but if you meet it initially and your daughter's speaking to this man, you're like, he's a bad bet. Walk away from him. And 5 years later, he on top of the game, but he was willing to love your daughter with everything he had. He just needed somebody to be his rock for a little while he got himself together. This conversation has to be very careful, because we got people listening here that's not at their best. Majority of this country is paycheck to paycheck. Majority of this country don't know where their next dollar's coming from if the month and they ain't got a whole month of paychecks. You understand? I'm one of them lucky ones because I got grind and grit in me. So when I listen to these discussions, we all men here. You got to account for those that get hit by life, get knocked down, brush themselves up, and be able to have the discussion and say, you know what? If a man is constantly going in that direction, nothing good, the Ray, the Pookie, I get it. The man that gets knocked on his ass for doing the right thing by people and they destroy his property, cause him almost $250,000 in damage and stuff, and then he has to sell it at a loss because he did the right thing by people. Is he also supposed to be judged by that same brush? We have a responsibility, because those people are scared to even have those discussions because we're judging them. And they hurting. So tonight I want to speak for the wounded, because I know what I had to go through to get where I'm at right now. And I think it's kind of unfair for them. But I get it. We need these discussions. I could take my spoonful of bitters, but discussions have to be had. I land my plane there.
That was nice. Brought us all back to earth because we was flying.
Sweet, how do you feel that every man on this panel has the inheritance that you can pass down to your kids? All of us have babyless T-liners. I'm just playing with you, bro.
No, I was waiting on the question. Like, what do you mean? I thought
I feel like I want to take Louis' side. I think we need to redefine what inheritance is. I think we have the power to do that as man. Like, if I feel like is more value in a recipe or a source code or whatever it is, whatever profession you're in, that can continue to make money, regardless if you have any physical material or tangible whatever. I think that can be also an asset.
But it is an asset, Darwin. So when you say things like recipe, like the Coca-Cola recipe that's locked in the safe, when you say things like source code, that is something that you can. So you guys got to understand something. An asset is something you can sell, ladies and gentlemen. It's something that you can sell. So when you ask the question, and that's why I threw up the picture, Jared, I don't know if you could see it or if you could share it. That right there is one of my that's a business, one of my first business. I started that in 2001, about 23 years ago. That's Chris Shan's Barber and Braid Studio. I kind of made up that name because it was me, it was my girl's. The first part, her name was Chris, and my name was Shan, so I just call it Christian. I don't cut hair. I don't have a barber's license, but I sure had a 10-station barbershop with a 5-station salon in the back, and I made money with that joint. So you can take it down, JR. That's an old photo. That's just something. That's just a business I had. Now the question that Darwin asked Sweeney is, if you had taught your son how to cut hair versus giving him some clippers, Sweeney tried to swing it back. Which one is more valuable? Because that's really the best question to ask. But if you say which one is an asset, the clippers are the asset, not the knowledge. The clippers are the asset. I don't cut hair, and you don't have to teach me how to cut hair, but I own a barbershop, and I can take that barbershop and sell it, or I can give it to my children. Remember, an asset is something that you can sell. Knowledge technically is not an asset. I know it sounds crazy to hear, but it's technically not an asset. Now, what it does is the knowledge protects your assets. The knowledge allows you to double your assets. The knowledge allows you to make more money,
maintain your
to make
assets.
sure that you don't lose your assets.
Right.
But the knowledge itself, you can't sell it. I can't sell you guys what I know.
That's not true.
I can sell you what I can do, but I can't sell you what's in my brain.
Yes, you can. Ebooks, courses, classes.
No, I'll be selling the ebook. You're buying the ebook, and then with that, that's a.
Get his point. You may not know how to use it right. He could write it all down for you. If you're not, if you're not here,
the knowledge. That's the point. That's the knowledge that I'm selling is the recipe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm selling you the recipe. So we got to be clear about, and I know this is more of a semantics conversation that we're having because it's a little past 10 and we get ready to go. But you guys got to be clear when we can't redefine things. I know sometimes we want to redefine words to make our points make sense, but generational wealth, by and large, means that I have something to give my children. I have something to give them, not to teach them, not to show them, not to give them game to protect, but I have to have something to actually give them. If I am broke and homeless with nothing but the clothes on my back and I live under the freeway, but I got game, I ain't got no fucking generational wealth for my kids if they come see me under the freeway. Just because I'm talking to them and telling them shit, that's not the generational wealth. I have to have something to give them.
Yeah, and then also even like to use the Coca-Cola reference. Somebody can give me that Coca-Cola reference. I mean, that Coca-Cola recipe right now. Now, granted, if you take away the fact that I can resell it to another company and get money out of it, but let's say they just gave it to me. That shit is useless to me. Outside of me being able to read, it's literally useless to me because I cannot recreate and do what they did with that because I don't have the facilities to create it. I don't have the equipment. Materials. So the only thing I would be able to do is take what they taught me how to make. They taught me how to make Coca-Cola. And the only thing I could do is give it to another motherfucker that got the ability to make Coca-Cola.
Or you can use a certain percentage of your brain to go learn how to make it yourself.
Your inability to capitalize on an asset doesn't make it any more or less an asset just because you don't know how to capitalize over it.
That's a you problem.
But what he's saying is that it's still an asset.
Knowledge
that doesn't mean it. Knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't agree in any capacity that knowledge is not an asset. Like if it retains value or increases in value, it's an asset.
Okay, knowledge is not wealth unless it's applied successfully. You could have the knowledge to do something, And if it's not applied successfully, it's just knowledge.
Well, and Kenny, I understand that, but I'm like you said, you'll get up and go guy. Sweeney's a sit on your ass guy. Okay, so he don't want to get up and go.
Wait, hold on.
They didn't burn the libraries in Alexandria.
I'm not taking that bullshit. I get up and work my ass to the bone every single day. I don't take those type of
slaves from reading. They didn't stop slaves from reading.
You gotta stall me out, bro.
He's trying to go viral.
You gotta stall me out. You gotta stall me out, Hank. I know every last one of us is men on this panel. Get up and grind every single day.
I got you.
Respect my gangster.
I don't think the money like that.
Sweeney clocks in every day. I got you.
So that's like when you come to town, I'm gonna fuck your head up. I'm fucking your head up when you come get your hair cut by me. I'm putting the line right across the middle of that motherfucker. You ain't gonna have no hairline.
Dang.
Sweeney, do you see?
Oh, it ain't valuable, huh? I'm gonna show you better.
He ain't got no hairline already.
Sweeney, do you see where I was going with that?
You see
that? I see where you're going with it, bro.
Yeah, because like I said, I understand that some people just want to go to work, come back, be with their family, and I understand it. Money doesn't really make you happy, right? There's certain countries you can go to, and everybody's living just off the land, and they happier than we are, happier than we'll ever be. So I understand that the wealth doesn't make you happy, right? But in this environment where we are, it's very different, and there's a separation going on. And a lot of people not even paying attention to what's happening. But there's a separation going on. That pesky old middle class is going to be out of here. So I'll tell you like I told my kids, you have to pick a side. You either want to be broke or you're going to be wealthy. But there ain't going to be no in the middle. If you see like it shouldn't be 66% or whatever. I know it's at least close to that. 66% of Americans that are living check to check. That ain't real life. We shouldn't have to wait on a check to say, damn, all right, what bill am I about to pay right now? Damn. Like that's right there. It causes unnecessary stress. It's even bad for your health. That's not how you want to live. You want to be comfortable and you want those opportunities for your children. And that's the only reason why I encourage people to strive for as much as they possibly can. Because that's the only way it's going to be survival at this point. Because I promise you, if anybody who's paying close attention to the financial trends, they understand that you have to make a choice. Pick a side. You want to be wealthy or you want to be broke, because there ain't going to be nothing in between.
That's good stuff, man.
Now, I ain't mad at you on that one. Now, living paycheck to paycheck in this traditional sense where you can the amount of money that you bring in can literally only take care of your essentials, and I would assume the essentials is eat and house, right? I agree with you. However, I do know that when a lot of people speak about living paycheck to paycheck, they mean that every dollar is accounted for. You know what I mean? They have, this is where I put my money towards for my savings account. This part of my money going towards my retirement. This part is going towards the mortgage. This part is going towards that. So by the end of the month, like Hank said, when they checkbook balances out, every dollar is accounted for. That's how I look at paycheck to paycheck.
Well, yeah, but you got a lot of people living above their means.
Included in that information is most Americans also can't afford an unexpected expense over $1,000. That's also
that is true though. That is true.
But
I think that has a lot more implications than the fact that people are bad with their money. I think that's, you know what I mean? When you talking about you got McDonald's right now looking at people like, oh shit, maybe we raised our prices too high.
Okay, so I'm going to give you one example of a broke mindset, which most people do, and there's plenty of them. Most people try to get taxes back at the end of the year, right? You end up like 10,000, 5,000, whatever, which is actually bad money. You want to get as close to zero as possible, because let's say you would get 10,000 back. Let's say you were getting closer to zero, and instead you invested that 10,000 into your 401k, right? I got a good guy. He got me 33%. So guess what? I got 33% last year. I would have had an extra 33% in my 401k from that 10,000, and that would have made me money. That money that I'm expecting to get back in taxes is going to be greater. I have an extra 33% added to that. That's just one. That's just one way that most people who have a broke mindset, we don't think about how to play with our finances. That's just one little nugget. I could keep going, but it's not that type of show. But I'm just saying we don't
is
think
that a
about
broke mindset or just people that are broke?
Trev, hold on. A lot of us that look like us don't have the financial literacy. So I get what Trev is saying, but you don't have somebody teaching you about mutual funds. You don't have no one teaching you about the rule of 72. You don't have people saying, don't put your head where your hands can't reach. You understand? Don't spend above your means. If you do this for a set amount of time, you'll accrue this compound interest. You'll learn how to put yourself in a financial position way better than you were 10 years back. We don't get that education, so you can't really like hammer too hard. But to those, as Trev said, if you have that
where
knowledge,
do you live at, Kenny?
Huh?
Where do you live at?
Where do I live at? I live in Brooklyn, New York.
I lived in Alabama and we got that.
Well,
We didn't listen to it. We got it.
You
We
got
just
what?
didn't listen to it. It wasn't popular.
I
It
agree with
wasn't
that.
attractive.
Wait. Hold on, Cloud. What classes were you getting taught about mutual funds in high
It
school?
ain't had to come into an
played the stock
educational
market game
Cloud,
in sixth
hold
grade.
on. Cloud, hold on. Because you're knowledgeable, but you can't be ignorant to the fact that the average man is getting the A's and B's about taking their money out of the bank and at 0.0 whatever percent that they're getting and finding out about mutual funds. This is not taught on a scale that y'all talking about. So that's being disingenuous about that. It's not. Because most people, the 78% that are living paycheck to paycheck, if they had financial advisors, and people that taught them those fundamentals, they wouldn't be in that percentile. It would be different. That's why rich people have more than us.
I think that's a victim mentality.
Is that a victim mentality if the knowledge is not present to you? And then
The knowledge is present. You can go to the library. You can go read.
Here we
about
go.
it.
So what do we look for when we go to the library and we don't know where to start? Rich people, if
Oh
you
man,
go up
I think those are excuses, man.
Okay, here you go. You're in Alabama. I'm in the streets. I have
I'm not in
financial-
Alabama, by the way.
Okay, you're in Georgia. Where are you? Which part of cow pushing? What cow tipping?
They out there cow tipping.
It's an excuse, man, because you basically saying the only way that we can learn
say only.
is
Stop
if somebody
using
come
ultimate.
and talk it into us. When we have the ability to go get on our 2 feet and go walk our ass down the street, or go to the library, or go online and learn shit.
See, turtleneck too tight. There's a lot of people that you don't have boots on the ground. I have boots
you don't
on
got
the
the
ground.
internet.
I have boots on the ground.
You got Boost Mobile?
I
He
have
said
boots
on the ground, man.
on the ground. I have financial licenses. I work for a community.
New York has that's bullshit.
And I
I've
know
been to New
that-
York. They have a cell where you can go there for free and get on the internet.
Okay, so here's what, when you're talking, just slow down. There's a lot of people in our communities that need this knowledge. You don't put boots on the ground. You're talking from an elevated place where you don't understand.
No, I came from the lowest, dude. You don't even know my background, dude.
So you just listening to respond, not to hear. I'm in these streets.
You can't say how I came from a place when you don't know.
All right. So stop taking it personal.
Okay,
I'm
I won't
in
take
these
it personal.
streets. In New
What's
York,
the disconnect, you guys? So Kenny, what's the disconnect between you guys? Kenny, you're saying what exactly that there's a lot of people in our community that don't have access to this information or don't even know to even look for it.
Exactly. They do not know where to look for it properly, because you got everybody telling them about, okay, this investment does that. And where we come from, that look like a 3-card Monty. And when people don't understand something, they push away from it in the environments that we come from. So I actually have to show and prove.
Can you give me an example of that scenario?
I got perfect examples for you. Do you know
I've been in this situation.
I've
been in the hole.
Do you know how many?
Do
you know how many get rich financial literacy gurus are online, and they tell people now you have to pay me XYZ to get this this master class in financial literacy.
I'm gonna make
and
you rich by the end of the week.
how to make $30,000 in a month. A lot of different shit that they tell people how to get finance. You know what I mean? And that's why people, what Kenny is saying is that they're starting to look at it as a scam, because there are so many people online telling everybody I can give you the game, and most of it are scams.
But you
So
can we be honest? How
The
can
thing
we
about
be
it,
honest?
y'all can go to your local urban league in whatever city y'all reside in, and they offer free financial literacy courses.
Okay,
right
here's
now
the
as we
thing.
speak.
Okay, here's the thing.
Every urban league in y'all major cities, y'all can go get free financial literacy courses.
Okay, here's the thing.
And I'm glad Hank said it, because this is one of the arguments I kind of step over to the women's side whenever they argue how you guys need to make more money. This is a fucking excuse, bro. You can't use that excuse, man. There's so many resources we got today.
Okay,
to where
so here's what we gonna do. We're not gonna just let y'all just two talk. What are you
Okay,
certified?
go ahead and talk.
Okay,
Kenny.
Bruiser, what are you certified in? What financial license that you got that you went out and took your nose and went in your community and helped people that you know needed it, rather than talking from your elitist position that you're talking from right now? Have you gone into the ghettos that I've been in and grew up in and went back and said, dog, you need to do this. You working at McDonald's, you doing this, you have kids. Let me show you how to get your stuff together from your elitist position. Have you done that? Have you put the boots on the ground?
I've done that.
Have you went and got certified?
I haven't got certified. Okay, let me get it. I gave you that. I understand where you're coming from. I haven't got certified in being able to financier or skilled in being able to pass down financial knowledge, but I coach a little leagues basketball team, and I teach them all kinds of. Huh?
So wait, you're comparing life skills to a little league basketball team.
Yeah. Whenever
Okay,
we
I
have
got you.
I have conversations with all kinds of athletes.
Okay, your conversations or your conversation. My conversations, I get held accounted for.
But you asked me what I do, and I was just answering the question.
Wait. The comparison toward life skills that people need, or they can end up in a different position rather than you teaching kids. I'm not diminishing you teaching kids, but
okay, how old are you, sir? I'm sorry.
I'm 51. I make 52 this year. September 24th.
You're 51 and you make 52,000 a year. Okay.
What is my what does my age matter?
I'm just asking you how old you was so I can give you the respect. I'm 37 years old. So it actually works in your benefit, because I like to respect my elders.
Okay, so why?
Because if you were younger than me, then I'd be talking shit to you. But because you're older than me, I'm gonna talk to you a different way.
So wait, the knowledge can't get the respect for the knowledge. I just have to.
No, I'm just setting the tone of the conversation. You're older than me, so I'm gonna talk to you like you're older.
Kenny, let me ask you a question, Kenny, because I'm just to be honest with you, if it feels like, I get it. You said, no disrespect to him teaching little league, but it feels like you were diminishing that. It just feels like it was, because I think that's important. Now, here's my thing. Here's my question to you, Kenny. You're certified. You've been authorized to help people financially or whatnot, and then you go into the community, you go to the hood, you go to the projects, and you trying to get these brothers to get on the ball. But these are people that already think everybody's a scam, including you.
Guess what?
So what is your solution? Here's the question, because I want to move forward from past this. You guys are going back. What's the solution to those that don't believe nobody? And thinks everybody's trying to take from them and don't trust none of that, and is fine, because what I think Darwin is saying, God damn, if you don't want to do it, man, everything is going to be a scam. If you don't really have it in you to try to go out and go to the urban league, go to the library, learn, go to YouTube University and figure out what's best for you and do something better for your life, then everybody's going to be a scam, including Kenny and his certifications. So then what, Kenny, what do you suggest that people do that don't want to listen to anybody because they're so fucked up in the head or so enthralled into the hood that they don't give a fuck about learning anything about financial literacy?
You're always going to run into people like that. I'm bringing Urban League to them. You understand? I lead by example because the truth don't need motivation. And I could take 99 no's in a day. If I'm helping one person, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm serving my purpose. Guess what? They watching, because I go back to that same hood in them same areas, and then they see me help people, and guess what they do? Yo, what did he do for you? Guess
They have
what?
to see the evidence.
Months
They have to see
down,
the work.
they be like, yo, I remember what I said, but could I holler at you? Can I tap in with you? Sure, you can tap in with me.
Okay, well, evaluate this. I haven't used a certification in finances to level somebody else's on the same level as me, but I have gotten a few young kids to go into the military, and now they got careers. And there's other poolies that's going into the Marines that are also going to go and make a living for themselves.
Well, you have to understand the difference, man. It's like that's why we was trying to explain the difference between actually passing down something and just giving game, right? Because when you go and you win and you started telling them about the military, there was tangible things you can tell them that will be to their benefit in the military. Hey, you follow these steps, this is where you're going to wind up at. And the military is pretty goddamn straightforward. Even with Kenny, what he's describing is I went to them and showed them something or helped somebody else, and I made sure that their life was a living example of the very thing that I'm teaching them. That way, when I go out to everybody else, somebody else is asking me, hey, bro, I seen that Kenny was working with you, man, and you went from working at McDonald's to, you know what I mean, you finally in school. I see you're halfway to your degree. How did you get there? And he gonna be like, man, Kenny helped me with this, and this, and he put me in a position. That's what we're talking about is the difference.
The thing that flies over your head.
That's not what Kenny was saying, though. What Kenny was saying was these people don't have access to this stuff, right?
That's what I was getting.
No, that's what you were getting. That's not what I was saying. I said boots on the ground. A lot of people are not accessing these things and doing their 9 to 5 because people don't know what to look for. Most people are prideful and ignorant where we come from. They like trying to mirror the Joneses. They like saying I'm good when they not good. And you got to be that one to be able to fight for something and plant your flag in something and fight for it. My testimony is what I told y'all earlier today. I have no problem telling y'all the truth about me because I walk in truth. And that don't need motivation, but my boots is on the ground. You understand?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
When they put me in a pine box, this is not victim mentality. They're gonna say, was that man selfish or selfless?
I get what you're saying, but everybody have a right to their opinion.
Okay, you have the right to say that's a victim mentality.
I get it. I believe we live in a day and age where we have access to things, we have access to information on a level to where if we just give it a little effort, we can go and make changes in our life.
Okay,
and
you
said something that was key. You said pride and ignorance.
So you let Sweeney tell you something about a lot of things that would make them push back because you got all these online hustlers that tell them borrow from your IUL.
No, don't get me wrong.
Okay,
I'm not talking about online hustlers. I'm talking about
the information.
I'm
giving you when you say go look for the information. That it's easy for them to go look for the information and they're getting the wrong information from certain people. Then they fall on their face and guess what they do? I'm not messing with that anymore.
Listen, I think I think you're taking it a step ahead as far as using online resources. I'm saying being able to go online and say, okay, where's the nearest community center where they help youth learn how to add or do math for sport?
Okay, watch this. And when you tap in online, the first thing that come up when you start looking at watch because of the algorithm, these hustlers. The algorithm will push you to make $30,000 in the next week and this, that, and the third, and they do not know.
No, because if I Google it right now,
while you're doing your research, you should always cross-reference whatever you learn and knowledge you get.
Okay,
that means if I go hold on,
everybody got to have some discernment.
You have to. If I go get from Darwin, I'm gonna say, okay, I appreciate your information. I thank you for that. Now I'm gonna say, I heard Trev talk about this. Let me holler at Trev, see what his opinion is about it. And I'm gonna cross-reference it there. Now I'm gonna go do some more research on my own, besides just actually getting the physical research from these two gentlemen. I'm gonna actually go online and do these research and see if whatever reference they gave me, if it's true, if it's factual, and I'm gonna follow up and go from there.
Okay.
But most people don't want it. They want to hear the first thing they hear, and they just want to take it and run with it and believe like everything is goddamn gospel. Nobody's above reproach.
If I told all y'all to go look up how to become a millionaire as a barber right now,
look
9 times out of 10, majority of y'all wouldn't be able to even be able to even comprehend
outside
of maybe Shannon.
I wasn't speaking on type.
Exactly how to do that.
Information like that. I was speaking on more like, okay, where's the nearest resource for young men that's coming out of high school that's trying to get into college or trying to find a group to connect with to
do you know
to
how
get some
broad
more
that is?
education.
You know how broad that is?
How do I become a millionaire?
No, but do you understand how broad that question is?
Yo,
Broad, what
you
question
came
is?
from an
Like to
entitled
say,
position.
hold on, Kenny.
You said it was
Do
a
you
victim.
understand?
Hold on, Sweeney. You said it was a victim mentality that got me to the space I am with you right now. You don't have boots on the ground. Then you tried to make a comparative. And Shannon, I will say,
I don't know what you qualify as boots on the ground.
Allow me to finish the sentence. I could give two crap about you teaching little boys how to play ball when I know my communities out there.
First of all, I didn't say I teach them how to play ball. I said I talk to the kids that I coach on how to get out of the inner city. These kids, hold on, these kids were at risk. These kids, let me clarify real quick before you go on your tangent.
Okay, how you gonna clarify?
These kids, hold on real quick, Kenny, so that way you won't be speaking BS.
How did you clarify? These kids didn't let me finish my sentence.
These kids are at risk.
Again,
and I'm just basically saying, hey, look, you come from a poverty, your mother's a crackhead, your dad's a crackhead.
Let him finish. I'm curious.
You can
let
go
him finish
into the military.
No,
let him finish it. Let him finish the whole
elitist.
statement, Bruiser, then hit him back.
Wait.
Ahead,
that's the elitist mentality. When you say,
Kenny, you said you don't give a crap about finish that part.
I don't give a crap about you teaching boys how to play basketball, and I know communities out here are underserved, and I got boots on the ground, and you say it's a victim mentality, and I know you're not doing the same as me.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
now,
let me respond. So first of all, I wasn't teaching them how to play basketball. I was coaching a team. So these guys that are on the roster already
now
know
we doing word semantics.
Okay, so go ahead. It seems like you got more.
Teaching them.
So first of all, here's the thing. The only thing I was giving them was something that was given to me. I came from this place called the Hellhole. I played sports. I was around a bunch of coaches that put me in a position to where I can go talk to other people that can help me because I didn't have enough. My academic level of success wasn't leading me to get a scholarship. And the household I came from wasn't able to get me into the college. So they said, hey, look, go talk to this man on the hill called Mr. Chapman. And Mr. Chapman talked to me and said, hey, look, I did 20 years in the military. Why don't you go have a career in the military since you got nowhere else to go? All your brothers and sisters are straying away and doing drugs, selling drugs and stuff. This is similar to the things that I was giving to the young kids that were in a similar situation as myself. So if you can accept and appreciate that as considered boots on the ground, then we can have a conversation about it. But I don't feel like I have. Hold on, let me just finish this.
Mentality.
Just let me finish this. I don't feel like
first slight.
But the reason why I said anything about victim mentality, because I could have easily used that and say, ain't nobody here to do that. But I actually had to go ask people. I had to go tell people the situation I was in. And it was considerate enough to say, damn, brother, you're a good athlete. You ain't gonna be able to you ain't good enough to go to college and play. You ain't good enough to your skills ain't good enough to go get you into college. Here's an option. But because I was available and I was asking questions, I was presented with this option so I can get myself to where I am now. I'm saying that there's people in those same situations, like you said, they got their pride in their pride, and they feel like, oh, I got it on my. I'm saying it's a victim mentality because now that was back in freaking early 2000s, bro. We're talking about 2024 now.
No, Bruiser. First of all,
are you serious? Your ears is that clogged up?
Hold on, Kenny. Hold on, Kenny.
Wait, Sweeney. Let me handle this. At 19, I was in the Commonwealth for gun running. I faced 15 years Fed time. Life could have been different for me. The judge said, you know what? You seem like a smart kid. I'm not gonna give you 15 years Fed time. I'm gonna put you on probation and see what you do with that. I know the worst of the worst. I know what I got away with. I know where I could be. You understand? It's a certain point in your life when you wake up and you realize you have to do your service. You understand? When you say victim mentality, you lose me. I could care less about what you say because I know there are young men that's in the same position that I was.
They had a choice, right?
Throw it all away, and my boots will stay on the ground. And
but
I'm
they
not
had
just
a
talking,
choice.
hold on, I'm not talking out my ass. I got certification so I could go out there and teach them the gospel. How you
But
doing
did
it,
you have a
OG?
choice to do whatever you did?
What?
He's asking.
I think it was
Kenny,
really easy and
you
simple
got-
to understand what I just said.
There's willful ignorance, and then there's victim mentality. And Kenny, you said you're losing everybody when they say victim mentality, but I think what McPherson is trying to explain is when you was looking at that Fed time, when you was looking down 15 years, and the judge saw something in you, and he said, "Go out there and show me that you'll be somebody different than I think you will," and you actually did it. That's not victim mentality. That's exactly what McPherson is saying, that you're not. You didn't play victim. Now, what happens, Kenny, to the guy that goes and does the same thing that you did? The judge gives them the same opportunity that the judge gave you. He fucks up, and then he starts blaming everybody else for his
I'm
fuck
gonna
up.
answer that question. That's why you need, because most of those people that reoffend, they don't have somebody with boots on the ground saying, "Come here. I know that you just got out of there, but there's a different way." And we need much more people that's willing to put their boots on the ground and go in those places to stop them people from reoffending and giving them a different way, because most ain't getting the chance that I do.
Who did you have?
Who did I have?
Yeah,
No.
Who did you have to stop you from reoffending?
Listen, I had to make mistakes and I got lucky. Then I met certain people, older cats, that was like, "Nah, you too smart for this. I see your intellect. I see how you problem solve. You understand? We're going to get you in this phone company when it was 9X.
So what do you say? What do you say about all the? I get it. I get it. But what do you say about the people that's coming over here from out of country, that's crossing over rivers and shit filled with alligators and shit, and coming over here and making things work?
The ones that come across
dynamic now.
You keep saying that you're
hold on, wait.
Don't come here with your statistics.
No, because I've been wanting to say this for a minute.
Yeah, Darwin, you're moving the goalpost.
First and foremost, to answer your question, the problem with what you're saying, Bruiser, is you're saying it's a victim mentality. Most people got questions.
Darwin is his name.
The most people have questions. How do I do this? How do I get there? How do I obtain it?
Mm-hmm.
The difference is when somebody's there to give you an answer.
Right.
That's what Kenny experienced. That's what you experienced. That's what a lot of us experience. There's somebody on the other end to give us a tangible answer. And that's why I asked when you said, "Oh, you could just go online, and just search certain shit."
That's what Hink said. Everybody has an opportunity. That's what Hink was saying. Everybody has an opportunity to have somebody give them an answer. What about the guy that ignores that, doesn't want to hear from nobody?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go look for no answer. Then fails, fucks up, goes back to prison, loses everything.
Get what he deserve.
That is Shannon, the point you made and the answer you get.
We get that. We know motherfuckers that fuck up gonna be fuck up.
The law of numbers say you ain't gonna get everybody.
We understand that there's gonna be fuck ups out there.
Watch this.
At the end of the day, I'm saying black people will never come out from where they at unless they realize that they can actually,
That's the problem, because you're
got a
talking about black
chance.
people as a whole. Most black people aren't ignorant, don't want to.
Sweetie, how you gonna just step on him? He was in the middle of
he
it.
be trying to do some middle.
He was dead in the middle.
Because I had to stop that shit at the door, man. Some shit you gotta stop at the door.
No, but when you keep stopping it at the door, you got guys out here.
Talking to Andrew again, that's what it is.
You keep stopping it at the door. That's what we've been doing for the past 100 years, stopping it at the door. But I think it needs to be heard now. I think the young guys that's listening now need to know that, hey, look, I live in a country where we're free now. We have an opportunity to be great.
How many generations are we
You
removed
have a
from
choice
slavery?
whether you want to do the wrong thing or the right thing.
How many generations are we removed from slavery?
Oh man! First of all, I've never been in slavery, so I can't be removed from slavery.
I asked a specific question. How many generations are we removed from slavery?
Who is we? I wasn't in slavery.
Here come this.
I said we as a group, because you want to talk about black people.
He said 4. He said 4.
How many generations are we removed from convict leasing?
COINTELPRO, redlining.
Listen, I think you're disrespectful about including yourself in that.
So
Now, if you say our
No,
ancestors,
you brought
then
up. No, you
we
want to
talking a
bring
different
up
thing.
black
But if you
people,
say we,
unless you're separating yourself from black people.
Stay focused.
I
Unless
didn't
you said it's
separate
not.
myself from black people.
Hey,
I'm
so
separating myself from people who were victimized.
no, you said black people. You threw everybody.
Hold on. The reason why I say that is because the same type of people try to do the same thing and say, how many times have we been to war?
Folks. So
I wore the
wanna talk about
uniform,
black
so I can
people.
say that I've been to war. You can't say that unless you put the uniform
you
on.
wanted to talk
The
about
same
black
thing goes
people.
with slavery.
Hold on, wait. You wanted to talk about black people, so we're going to talk about black people.
I didn't say I wanted to talk about black people.
No, you
I didn't
mentioned
put a
black
color
people.
on it.
You said black people are victims.
No, I did not say that.
Or no, he didn't say that. My bad. Let me
Wait,
rewind it back.
wait,
Then I stopped it at the door.
Hey, Bruiser.
I did stop it at the door. He didn't even
What
get
war
the
you
section
been
out.
to?
God
Let
damn.
me rewind. I can take it back.
Nah, hell no. Pass the mic, Shane. Pass the goddamn
Pass the
mic.
goddamn mic.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Hey, go ahead, Kenny.
What war you been to? What'd you do in that war?
Okay, so I joined the military at that time of war. OIF and OEF.
What'd you
Operation
do?
Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom.
So you
That's
bust your
Afghanistan
gun?
and Iraq.
Did you bust
And
your
I've
gun?
been to Haiti during the time
so
whenever the
now,
earthquake hit.
ask you a question. Did you lay something down for this country?
What?
Did you lay something down for this country?
I did. So what's your point?
So what's your point?
Hold on, Shannon. I'm getting somewhere with
I just answered your question. What's your point?
You have?
What is your point? I answered your question. I just told you
I
the
didn't
wars
hear
I
you
was
because
in.
Shannon
Lay something
talked.
down for this country.
I just
Answer the
told you the
question.
wars. I got a uniform hanging
Just
on the back
say
of my
yes or no.
rack
It's
right
a
now.
simple question.
Yes,
I
sir.
laid
If the
some
man,
niggas down,
if the man
so I
served,
did
he
not.
laid something down for his country. If he served, it doesn't matter if he went to war or not. If he
Well, he's
served,
asking a
he
question
laid
for a
something down for the
reason.
country.
So
So
just
yes.
answer the
So
question.
wait.
Yes.
So Hank,
Yes.
so you know where my mind is going with this question.
Go ahead.
He did say yeah, though.
No, he didn't. He said he
No, he
served
didn't.
for this country. He didn't say
Yeah,
I
he
laid
served.
something down.
I did lay something down for my country.
I did. I did.
I laid something down for my country. Hey, I
I
laid
did.
something down for my country.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what's your point?
All right, let's
So
go.
I'm trying to figure out where
I am a
his
combat
line of
veteran.
question is going to go.
I'm a combat veteran, and I laid some down for my country, and I got proof, and the military got all the records. So now I'm curious, what now?
I got a whole fucking fixed income just because I was, bro.
All right, fair. All right, now we know. All right, go ahead.
I'm that dude, bro. What's up?
All right.
Okay, you're that dude. That's
I'm that guy.
Okay, you're that guy. I took care of a Green Beret until he died. You understand? He
You
was that
changing
guy.
shitty draws?
We're not gonna do that.
I'm just
My
saying
father-
that's part of it.
My father's not here no more.
I had to change the man's shitty draws before.
No, the reason you said it was a snipe.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, Darwin, you derailing the conversation.
Stay focused.
You be moving the
This is what they do to me though.
You derailing the conversation. Kenny going somewhere. You just fucking throwing.
Oh, you changed some shitty draws. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Watch out for the IEDs.
All right,
When you speak the way you speak, your guys made a sacrifice which could have ended up with you giving your lives for this country. But when you come back here, like my dad did, he had to fight for VA. He had to fight for this. He had the most disrespected, right? And you standing up there on your elitist perch thinking that everything is sweet. Like blacks still don't have it hard in urban areas because you're removed from it. You understand?
No.
And that's the entitlement that throws me.
No.
You've been through something. Okay, you fought for the military, hats off, respect. Shannon, respect. When you come back here and then you start speaking that jazz, you people, you blacks, you crutches, like you're excluded from the culture. You miss me with that. Especially when
listen.
you're not putting boots on the ground and you're getting income from, okay, good. You made your niche for yourself. But when what I'm still stuck on is this victim mentality thing that you should not be using.
Oh, come back to the military side because that's where we was at.
Oh no. I already made the transition.
Okay.
I already gave what needed to be given. I brought you back to the real world and what's going on in these streets and urban areas with men that look like Shannon and you.
A resolution about figuring out how to get these people who don't have the knowledge.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm
Thank
actually
you, Hank.
doing it.
Thank you, Hank.
Okay, that's cool. I agree with you. Just like I gave a suggestion. Any urban league, you can go get this knowledge for free. Doesn't cost anybody anything. Not the only thing it's gonna cost them is time to go in to get it. Are people willing to get it? No. The average man is lazy. Let's be honest. Average person is lazy. Yeah, they are. They're not going to go the extra mile. Sweeney, they are. That's why we the most obese.
Lazy
No, that's why we the most obese because we are lazy.
Thank you, Hank. I think the men who could. I think the men. Let me just respond to you, Kenny, because you said something. I get what you're saying, but I think the men who can come on a platform like this. This is a powerful platform, by the way. Shout out to Lapeef Network. If you can come on any platform and speak on behalf of Black people, and the words that come out of your mouth is trying to paint the picture that Black people are this and they're still in bondages and all this shit, you're doing a disservice to your people, bro. It's a sad thing, and I think it's disgusting.
It would be a disservice if you're not actually out there doing something. If you're just a talking head.
Let me paint a picture for you. Me being in the situation I'm in and being exposed to a lot of young men and giving them hope that, hey, look at this man here. I can be that. What does that say?
You can be a millionaire too.
I'm not even a millionaire. Lapeef, let go. I'm not a millionaire.
And if you ain't a millionaire, you're lazy.
You know what my misstep is with you, Bruiser? When you said that, and I said I could care less, that was an emotional response because I know what I do on these streets in rain, sleet, snow, all type of weathers. The 99 no's I take, the families that I know need it. When you prefer buy Hennessy and Tim's and you got 2 kids at home and I'm sitting there with your child's mother, she knows she needed, but you make the call because you're the breadwinner. When you tell me victim mentality and you actually have somebody out there in the trenches, it don't resonate with me because you're not.
Okay, so I agree with you. Maybe if you was in a situation I'm in, you would have a different perspective. Perhaps if I was in a situation.
You were just bragging about your 4,000 square feet. We in 2 different positions.
I wasn't actually bragging about it. I was just saying.
Hold on, y'all. We got to start to kind of wrap this up in the vote.
If you ain't in a 4,000 square foot house like I am, man, you lazy, bro.
Exactly.
If you got 3 cars, 3 BMWs in your driveway, bro, you lazy.
He said that.
No, he didn't.
Hold on.
Y'all bullying now. He didn't say that.
Like, all jokes aside, man.
Bullying Shanny? Oh, okay.
All jokes aside, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me okay? Like, all jokes aside, it's been an amazing show. And I like to try to take the positive out of what I was hearing. First of all, Darwin and Shannon, appreciate your service again. And Kenny, I appreciate you taking care of your father. If we take the positive from what we hear, like I hear you guys are doing great things, that you guys are giving back, which a lot of people don't do. You know, what I was hearing was Darwin, and we're not there, so we don't know what type of teaching, how many people he's saving, what type of lessons he's doing. All we hearing is that he is giving back in some form of capacity. So salute to you. Same thing with Kenny. You know, Kenny is saying that he's going back to the hood, he's going back to the community, boots to the ground, which we so often hear, and he's also giving back. And I just think it's just a great thing just to hear, man, because like either way, it's still examples that people can take away, and they can. Hopefully, you guys have encouraged or can encourage for people that watch this to go back and give back in some form of capacity, and then also to take care of family too. You know, that's one thing I heard about you, Kenny, taking care of your father and just making sure your family is good, man. So this is all good, man. I don't want anybody to take away. I understand it might have been trolling laughs and giggles, but if we just focus on the seriousness of the conversation, I think it is some value and there's some gems and it's a lot of things that we can gain from it. I appreciate Sweeney always speaking about the average person, because we do have average people like that. Like nobody's alike. Everybody is watching this, even the people on the panel, we all come from different backgrounds, upbringings. And I just think that there's something that we can take away from it. I always like to focus on the positive and not necessarily like the negative. Man, I think y'all are some amazing brothers. I'm just blessed to be in the presence. Hank, I love what you're doing. Trev too. I know Trev and M White. I know you guys are pretty quiet, but you guys are solid brothers. You guys are good examples as far as like what a husband should be. Same thing with you, Sweeney. And I'm just blessed just to be surrounded by great men. This is a great King Talk, man. Let's make sure we support each other. Let's make sure that we check everybody out. They platforms, YouTube, and all that good stuff. And let's make sure we support each other. Do gotta close with a couple super chats. Mommy 3 became a member. Salute to you, man. Angela Swift said we already know with the $9.99. And Big Bucks, Torrance Moore, $49.99 says, yep, good show. Man, this was good, man. I enjoyed it, man. Again, thank you, brothers, man. You guys are all kings in my book. How I look at it. You guys good? Everybody good?
Oh, man, look, I'm sorry, man. Ain't nothing positive. Can't nothing positive come from saying that the average man is lazy. That's just not true.
Well,
that's simply not true.
I mean, we don't. Hold on. Like, I think all information is needed, and I appreciate hearing information and different perspectives. I'm just going to take what I need from it. Like, there are some lazy men out there. They need to be motivated in different ways. So if they do have a victim mentality, guess what? They got what they needed from here. You know, if they don't have a victim mentality and like they need people to come and speak with them, I'm pretty sure some people out there that's like that as well. We are all not alike. We're not going to all think alike. So I think that people that need whatever motivation you need, it was here tonight. So whether you need to go out there to the library, to the Urban League and get the resources, it's there. Whether you need people to go back, if people are in a position to go back to speak to the youth and to go back and get back to the communities, then it's opportunity for them as well. So that's why I say, I mean, we can keep going back and forth about our perspectives and our opinions, but it's going to hit people differently.
Yeah.
Whomever listens to this, they're going to do what they're going to do. And hopefully, I'm just hoping that whatever they heard tonight, it may not be from you, Sweeney, it may be from Hank, it may not be from Kenny, it may be from Bruiser. But I'm just hoping that they can be able to gain something from here and understand that it's all coming from a good space. It's all coming out of love. So we're not trying to tell anybody to do anything wrong. Whatever motivation you need to take from this, take it and run with it. But whatever you do, just do the right thing.
I got love for all you brothers.
Good grief.
We may not agree on everything, but I'm glad we have. I'm glad we have.
Yeah, I'll try to end the show, but God fucking damn.
Y'all like, hey, no more fighting. Shut up.
Nah.
Y'all some lazy listeners.
No, man.
You know, it's natural and normal for humans and men in particular to be lazy. We've evolved to that. You know, that's the whole thing is we're not inclined. We're not worker bees naturally. We don't just want to just go out there and just dig ditches and shit. So that's not a slight to say that people want to relax as often as possible. But I know how you feel, man. You know,
I can't see myself doing a 10 fade every
like
day.
most people, life has a way of making you not lazy. You can't do shit and be lazy.
No, you can't. You do the average person.
Who's sitting on their ass getting the check right now? In large,
Sweeney, the average person.
Sweeney's sitting on a stool that's higher than his client, so he can sit around and swivel around a 10 fade.
Just enough to get by. We save just enough money. We eat. We do just enough to get by. By and large, Sweeney, most people do not go above and beyond. So most people will do just what they gotta do.
But does that mean that they're lazy, or does that mean that they're just getting by, or that they're doing what life tells them to do?
Lazy.
That's not lazy. Lazy. I would argue that lazy is you don't even want to do the shit to get you by.
They don't.
You got people like that,
and you won't, and you refuse to do the shit that gets you by. You gonna sit down and let everybody else do it for you.
Changing it. You said it right the first time. You said it right. First time. Don't change it. Don't add shit. Most people, if they didn't have to, they wouldn't.
I agree with Shannon,
including everybody on this panel.
You goddamn right. If I can
including
get
Hank,
what I got,
What's
if
that?
I can get what I got without
Man,
having to do
if
what
I
I
can
did,
make the
I
money
would.
I did and cut down my hours, yes, I would.
No, man. So then just
Yeah, you're right.
That's that bullshit.
Nah,
Don't talk about people and then try to remove yourself from it. Say all of us are lazy. Then, goddamn it.
I told you, I put my money up and I ain't did nothing.
Say,
in,
I'm
like, 2
lazy. You
years.
lazy. We all lazy
Chilling,
on this
bro.
panel. Everybody's fucking lazy.
I've said that multiple times before.
Don't sit here and try to separate yourself from everybody.
I just told you it's a natural inclination for human beings to do that. If
That's
we
true,
did
that's
not
true.
have to,
No, then say we lazy.
That's what
all
I
of us.
said.
No, you said people. You said
Okay,
them
what do you
people
think
over there.
people are?
What you think he is? A Martian? Where you think? What planet you think he's
Them
from?
people over there. Hick was talking about them people over there. Hick was not including himself in that damn category.
Yes, I was.
You know you what? If I would have came up and called you a lazy ass Negro, you'd have been like, nigga, I ain't lazy.
See, a lazy ass nigga. Now, lazy ass nigga is different than being.
First of all, don't call me no N-word. That's what I
I'm
would tell you. Don't call me no
I'm
N-word.
just saying, if I would have called, if I would have been like, hey, bro, you lazy as hell, you'd have been like, nah, bro, I'm not.
No,
See, lazy as hell. That's a different level.
Now, Sweeney, when I come in your barbershop and I see speck the hair on them babyless blades, your hair, I know you lazy because you could at least brush some shit off.
Lazy as hell, nigga.
If I come in that barbershop and I see little pieces of hairs on them babyless blades on your linings, I know your ass lazy because you could at least brush them off.
Well,
You know
yeah,
y'all got that little,
you
y'all know
do
y'all
know
got that
you-
airbrush stain
You
where you
know
can
that
just.
violates. You do know that violates codes to
Your lazy ass,
not
Sweeney,
clean
why
off
don't
your
you
clippers.
walk to work? Walk to work, Sweeney.
I did at one
You don't
point.
need a car. You don't need
You
a
cut
car.
somebody's hair with some hair, somebody else hair
No,
on the
I'm
before.
talking to Shannon, bro. Y'all both talking to me at the same time. But no, you violate all types of codes when you don't sanitize your clippers in between haircuts, bro.
Shit, it shouldn't take
Sweet,
no
I don't
code
care
to
what
be
you say.
violated to do that, though, right? Come on.
You
man.
said what?
It shouldn't take no violation of codes for you to want to clean your shit off.
No, I would argue that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But shit, some motherfuckers don't know shit until motherfuckers come back with Willie Limp Lumps on it, and then they suing your ass.
Sweeney, I got a question, man. I've been in men's fashion, but I have yet to find what is the clippers. What is the clippers they use to get down there? You know,
What
the
ball
gooch,
trimmers?
the gooch. You know, without because sometimes I'll be using the babyless and them like zip.
I
Like,
can
hold
tell you
on,
right now, there ain't a clip on this planet that's sensitive enough to cut down there. All of them nick you. Every last one of them. Not even all of them nick you. Every last one of them. There ain't a clip on this planet. Find the safest clipper you can find. Cut your balls, and then try to put some alcohol on that shit.
Hey, JR, that might be
Put
the
some
next
alcohol
project.
on that shit. You tell me you ain't got
hair
nick.
remover. Get a hair remover on the roster.
We
That
talking
might
about
be it.
nair removal.
Even near,
Not connected.
even near to a degree.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I don't think
Does some shit to you where you gonna feel that shit in the morning.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. And I'm
Use
telling
some
you that
shea
because
butter.
I
You
actually
good.
used it.
So do I. Use shea butter. That's it. You straight. That's
what?
it.
What I'm
Follow it with
saying
some
is
shea butter, I
that
promise
after
you.
you use the Nair, there's some residual effects that's
No.
gonna be a little discomfort. Yes, it is. That is a known
Shea
fact.
butter.
You
Nope.
can put. Why do you need the shea butter if you shouldn't need shea butter if it don't do nothing?
Because that's a solution. You good after you use
So
some shea
so
butter.
the obvious for it to be a solution, I mean there has to be a problem.
When you wake up in the morning, you good. What's so
But
hard
that's
about
not
that?
my point. My
Trev,
point
that's not
is
your point. That's not the point, Trev.
What's the point?
The point
It's
is
a sensitive
he
area,
said,
but clippers are far worse.
But no,
Clippers
what
are
I'm saying
far
is
worse.
there's nothing on this planet that you can
you
do
said
that.
Nair was good, Trev. What you then
I
you
didn't
said
I didn't say Nair specifically because that one's actually got some issues, and I'm not going to down them on
well, whatever it is,
on
whatever
the
product it is.
platform,
The
but
point is,
yeah.
if we got to use shea butter after it, that means that whatever it was that we
Yeah,
used
if
is
you
the
have
problem.
no, that's true. So if you have more sensitive skin, then that's what you need to do. That's
You
why I
ain't
said
gotta
JR
have
need to come
sister.
up
I
with
got some of the
better.
most alligator skin on the planet, and I can tell you right now that shit. Nigga, I don't care how strong you think your skin is. There ain't a pair of clippers on this planet, and even there,
he got scales.
I'm gonna send you a link to what I used.
you put some shit down there, and hair removal gonna leave some.
Hey, so the Manscaped clippers don't work.
Nah, they nicking all that.
What's up with the Manscaped clippers?
They lying to
They
you,
just
bro. That shit
clippers.
nick your balls too.
Ain't nothing different with Manscaped. They just clippers with a marketing name.
Right.
I wish I came up
They
with
got a
that
little
fucking
guard
idea.
on it, but
That shit was fucking
plus
brilliant.
it's not gonna be that close. It's not gonna be clean. It's gonna be like kind of.
Yeah, they don't cut close. They all that shit talking about some. Oh, you can cut them in the shower. Have you ever dealt with wet hair? I don't give a fuck. Like, no, I don't care how clean. Wet hair is wet hair. That shit sticking to everything.
Sweeney, I'm gonna send you a link to what I used until JR dropped one in his lineup.
So y'all running around here looking like Sasquatch.
No, I've manscaped. That's why I know.
No.
That's how I know. I manscape. Except for, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, sometimes it's hit or miss when it comes to like my chest and shit because I don't like to grow back. So like my hair is it's not
got
that.
the nappy chest.
No, like my hair.
You got that 70s black exploitation chest.
No, actually, no, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Like, because when your hair grows back, it's sharp. So it's like trying to rub the stubble on your beard.
You
So
got
it's the
that
same-
dolomite.
it's the same
You got
thing.
that dolomite chest.
No, like I actually got soft hair. I got soft chest hair. My shit lay down in it. I can take a shower. It lays down. Look like I got a whole damn t-shirt on.
I don't grow
Look like a damn t-shirt.
I don't grow no hair on my chest, arms, leg, and I got a couple strings under my
Oh, you
arm.
one of them naked mole rat motherfuckers.
Yeah. That's why I ain't never cut this mustache.
He got low blood pressure.
Yeah,
He got
too,
low blood
pressure.
It's always the ones that ain't got no facial hair. They ain't got no hair nowhere else either. Can't grow it. My pops was that way though. He can't grow a beard, but he don't grow hair on his legs or none of that. It's all good though, man. I guess there's a benefit to it. You can't grow a beard, but at least you ain't got no hair all over your body.
Yeah, I never cut this. Like the hair on my face has never been cut before.
That's all.
He got that perma goatee. It ain't gonna get no longer.
Wait,
it's crazy. Somebody in the chat said I was sitting on the panel drawing naked people.
You went a whole extra hour.
Oh wait.
Hey, hold on, wait. Let me
hold on, bro. You gotta put that down, man. Before you
Trev, personal question though. Trev,
My bad.
personal question.
Look, kind of look AI.
When you manscape, do you just stop at the man area or do you go everywhere else too?
Why are you curious about that?
I'm just asking because some people. Because no, for real though. Because I'm asking. Because the reason why I'm asking though is because like some dudes do the whole body. Like most people remove all their hair. Some of them just remove.
That's where that phrase pause that niggas be using at wrong times.
Okay, look, I'm gonna say pause, but I try to get everything, and the only thing I hate about that shit is
we've been sitting up here talking about shaving balls the whole time, and just because I asked them, do you only shave your balls or do you?
You asking for details, sweetie. You want details.
We go play
basketball.
When I play basketball, or I go work out after that. It's just like the swamp.
It was real surface level.
Sometimes, no, seriously, think about it though.
Like, it's swampy, man.
If you just shave your balls, do you shave your legs too, or is there a line of demarcation there?
Hold on.
You know that's what.
No, Sweeney, I'll tell you how it go. I get specific. Pause. Right. So we all know that
didn't
hair,
even answer should tell y'all something.
Hair harbors odors, right? So what you want to do is get rid of as much as possible. I don't have a bunch of chest hair. I don't have to touch that, right? But under your arms and in your manly area, then you go ahead and you do that, right? That's it.
Okay.
Especially in the summertime, you don't want hair under your arms in the summer. And I might say,
Trev, you shave your underarms, Trev?
I do too.
I never said shave. I said I use hair remover.
Y'all don't cut the hair to
I would say this.
I don't put blades on me.
I do use clippers on my underarm, but I never take it all the way down to skin. Like because I don't like
put a guard on his.
Yeah, I don't take it down to skin. Why? Because it opens it because you have lymph nodes and stuff under your armpits sometimes, and then on top of that you can get an infection by ingrown hairs. So that's why you don't really want to take it all the way down to skin for us as guys, so to speak. So I try to avoid taking it down the hairs because you get a lot of ingrown hairs, infections, and shit like that. And that's right where your lymph nodes are. So kind of avoid that.
Damn.
Wait a minute. Who said that? See, you always got to bring up somebody meat, bro.
Pause.
You always got to bring up somebody meat. He done
What we
jumped off
doing?
the panel and started talking about
We
niggas
doing?
meat. Come on, bro.
Oh man. Yo, what we doing?
And the reason why, and somebody
This
asked,
one,
they said,
yeah.
why shave your pits? Because I don't like there being a layer or barrier between my deodorant and my armpits. I like for the deodorant to have direct contact with the skin.
That's
Careful with that, because
You
sometimes
just
if you
feel-
sit in the heat, you'll get a drip of sweat go down your rib cage. Well, you ain't got a rib cage because you ain't in shape like me. You'll get a drip of sweat that come down your love handles.
Hey, look, get up off the
man.
love hand. Bruce, you ain't gotta be like that, man. We get it. You work out. You be out there, this nigga be putting on the baby oil and shit, trying to glisten and shit. Talking about some look at my rib cage. Don't nobody give a fuck about that.
Pause. It's getting strange. I don't know. I'm starting to get uncomfortable now. I don't know, man. We might have to call HR about this shit. I don't know.
I'll call HR on all you motherfuckers.
All right, bro. Get that life, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all enjoy yourselves, man. Y'all wild, man.
Wow.
The fact that this nigga answered the question is the ultimate pause, though.
The pause was that you was asking that question about another area. I'm sure.
I wasn't supposed to answer the
Hey,
question.
look. First of all, what other area? I said it could have meant chest. It could have meant arms. It could have meant armpits. We were already talking about shaving nut sacks.
I know where you was going with
We was already talking about shaving nut sacks. So what other area could I even be talking about?
No,
Sweetie, I didn't